Welcome to Campaigns and Concoctions, where we are a bunch of truculent troublemakers.
Ooh, I like that one.
Drink and play D&D.
Nods all around.
That's good.
Nods all around.
We would like to welcome you on this journey of cooperative storytelling. If you want to get with us in any kind of a more real-life way, we are available through all of our interweb things, where you can find us at Instagram at Campaign Concoctions Pod. There you will find a link to all of our things, the Discord mainly, if you want to talk about things. We have been sharing stuff lately, most recently this morning, which is a little bit, I know it's a little weird to talk about like dates, but today is the day before Memorial Day, so for those of you who need a reference, but I shared what the Shirlene looks like in the Discord server, which is really cool. So yeah, that's the best way to check us out, everything. Also want to say real quick, happy Memorial Day to everyone. We are recording this day before Memorial Day. I am a veteran, so I do want to say that don't let veterans tell you have to be sad. Go fucking barbecue and get drunk. Okay?
We're gonna.
I've got a list of names that I celebrate, but I don't want to bring down the party for everybody. Thank that the fact that those men lived, not fucking be sad that they're gone. So, with that, I don't believe anyone has anything that they need to share before we get into tonight. First off, let's do cocktails.
Tonight, our first cocktail is called the Singapore Sling. The Singapore Sling comes from Singapore, I believe, and I think it's an old beverage.
It is.
It's like an
Very
old
old,
beverage.
It was invented in a bar in Singapore that is still there.
Yeah. And I don't have the gentleman's name who made it, but Singapore Sling
We'll probably put it in the Discord later.
We could do that.
Maybe tomorrow.
We could definitely do that. The Singapore Sling is a gin drink. It has 1.5 ounces of gin. We use Navy strength Leopold's because
it's delicious.
Why not?
And local.
And local. It's got 0.25 ounces of cherry herring, and it's got 0.25 ounces of Cointreau, 0.25 ounces of Benedictine, 1 ounce of lime juice, 0.75 ounces of pineapple juice, 0.25 ounces of grenadine, 1 dash of Angostura bitters, and then you top it with 2 ounces of soda water, and we garnished it with a dried pineapple, Luxardo cherry, and a pineapple frond.
Yeah.
And I feel like you can tell that Curtis is in the STEM fields because 0.25 versus quarter ounce.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
No, I love the diversity of how we do it. So, and then we have one more cocktail.
Two more,
okay.
actually. Yeah. So we did the Rathskeller, which is going to be 1.5 ounces of Jamaican rum, a 1/2 ounce of Gargoyle Amaro, a 1/2 ounce of Benedictine, 3/4 ounce pineapple juice, a 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, and 2 dashes of Peychaud's. Serve that over a large cube, and garnish that with a pineapple frond and a piece of dried pineapple on a pick.
Don't forget to eat your garnishes, guys.
Yeah, eat your garnishes. They're delicious.
Especially if they've been sitting in a drink.
Yeah, which they should be. They should be. That's what they're there for. And then the last drink that I made is a Shirlene. And the Shirlene is 1.5 ounces of Don Q, a 1/2 ounce of Gargoyle Amaro, a 1/2 ounce of Remy Martin Cognac, orange bitters, tiki bitters, about a 1/2 ounce, little shy of a 1/2 ounce of pineapple juice, little shy of a 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, the cherry herring, and 1 Japanese bar spoon of cane sugar syrup. And I garnished that with a maraschino cherry and a pineapple frond.
I feel that is a cocktail that was made by Captain McIntosh, and he doesn't understand the whole story of Shirlene.
Right.
Which I think only a couple of people at the table other than me know anyways. And he doesn't know how sad that story is, so the fact that it's a bright drink.
And it's a very happy drink.
Prosperin would love it.
Yeah.
But it would make her sad.
She wouldn't order it by name.
Because it would make her sad.
She would be like, can you please mix for me these ingredients?
John, does it also have Aperol in it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Also a 1/2 ounce of Aperol. That's the Shirlene number 2.
All right.
Yeah.
And I know we talked about it last session, family, but we forgot to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around and what everyone's ready to share, or what everyone's willing to share. about their class, for each character. So we're actually going to start here on my right this time. We're going to start with Curtis and Patrice.
Patrice Shakerton is level 3 Divine Soul Sorcerer, and patron is Haven.
Sid is a level 3 sorcerer as well, draconic subclass.
Slight variant, instead of being bloodline, there's other things there.
Yeah, other things there. And then she does have copper dragon blood running through her veins. So that's why she uses a crap ton of acid magic.
That's the right amount of acid.
Yeah,
it's a crap ton of acid.
It's the correct amount.
Still under level 8. Haven't reached fuck ton.
Yeah.
Well, next will be shit time.
Right, yeah.
And
And
then
shit ton, then
fuck
fuck
ton.
ton,
It's
then
gonna be
metric
shitload.
fuck ton.
How many grips
Oh,
into a shitload? I forgot.
Yeah.
How many grips in a shitload? Is it 6?
Yeah, approximately 6.
6
Yeah.
or 6.5.
It's like
depending
6,
on if you're
6.5.
in New England
Yeah.
or not, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Depends on the elevation.
Yes.
Matt.
So, hey everyone, it's Matt, and so SOA, now that she is level 3, is a swords bard. And, no other patron fuckery has happened as of yet.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. You have to keep listening to find out.
So, Skjald. Oh.
That's how you get 'em.
That's a good
That's how
hook.
you
That's a good hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you want to know what SOA's gonna do?
Skjald is a warlock. His patron is Sedna, but he's a warlock of the Deep Court.
The Sea Court.
Sea Court. Sorry, Sea Court. And it's sort of an amalgamation of a couple of different warlock patrons that we've homebrewed together into the Sea Court patron. And then he is also Pact of the Blade.
L is an artificer artillerist now that he is level 3.
Nice.
Sark has moved into Way of the Open Hand Monk, mostly because he likes to poke and figure out how organics work since he's not one.
He does touch people a lot.
And I'm the DM. It never changes. I'm just the DM. So, with that, the last time we met up with our brave party, it was basically just still getting to know. I didn't have anything good for that one. I wasted it all on truculent troublemakers.
That was so good.
Worth it.
We're sure these people are brave at this point.
I think so.
Okay.
We were down in a hole, man.
Other people will think we are, even if we don't think we are.
That's fair.
Bravery. Remember, bravery isn't the absence of fear. It is doing something in spite of the fear. But the last time we met, the adventurers of the party still continued to get to know the crew of the Shirlene and find out more information about this upcoming mission. We ended the last session and we sped up time to awaken the next day, where you all stayed in the rooms afforded to you in the Shirlene. I believe nothing that Sark and Elle learned was shared.
Nope.
At least not when it comes to there's certain things. But yeah, at this point, the only thing I think we were waiting on is for Skjald to get some armor.
Which he got that, didn't he?
Yeah,
you describing it.
Yeah, you did.
It's like the most part that I listened to refresh myself where we're at was re-listening to the description of it.
Actually, can you do it again? Tell us what it looks like.
The pauldron?
Yeah.
No, this was the.
The gauntlet. Yes.
Oh,
So the gauntlet
Tentacles and,
is black, but on the edges, and when it turns, you can see there's a little bit of a gold hue in the black, and then the kraken or octopus, the head of it is on the back of the palm, and then the tentacles wrap around, and it appears to be made of adamantium. And then here in the wrist, underneath, just below the flat of the palm, is where Master Lindor
Okay.
puts her mark, which is a cursive L-I, which also appears to be an adamantium. So you awaken. At this point, probably because you're on the ship, and the crew probably awoke right around nautical twilight, so really early. For the sailors amongst you, it feels normal. But the crew is going about their daily duties. What would the six of you like to do?
Patrice is going to hang out near the boat for a while until Skald wakes up. And he's going to follow him to the blacksmith. And on the way there, he's going to assume he's going to want to stop for a drink. And when he stops for a drink, he's going to buy some wine.
Okay. What type of wine are you going to buy?
I was thinking something red Malbec-like.
You can find the thing with wine.
You can find just about anything.
You can find anything that
Yeah.
you want, especially in my world. Vin culture is very deep here. The question is how much you want to spend. Like, you want to buy something very... Because you did buy a very nice bottle of rum.
Yeah, he bought a very nice bottle of rum, and he doesn't... This isn't a gift, so I think he's going to be one tier down from that. And he probably would want to stop at the Fancy Nancy.
Mr. Nancy's?
Mr. Nancy's. Sorry, I didn't
so
mean
that
it.
is going to be 5 gold pieces for that bottle of wine. Because basically, even though we described it, it would be
Yeah.
this morning that you
Yeah,
picked up your...
Can I buy like 4? Or would they
4 bottles of wine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's 20 gold total.
I'd probably get it fairly early. Yeah.
Unless you tell me to get you up early, I don't touch you.
I think Skjald is going to... He's going to stock up on cigars, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah. Skjald is
So we're
definitely
stopping
going
at Edwards on the way.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
like the
and,
first stop.
I think Skjald
No, it'd be the
goes-
last because it's the end of the road.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I actually think that Skjald is probably going to start there and work his way back.
Okay.
Because he's going to go there and get breakfast.
Breakfast, egg, and cheese.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he's going to get some cigars. He's going to get a nice espresso, you know.
So
He's going to ask if they have any good sweet whiskey to put in his espresso. And it's like, he's got the tiny cup of espresso. And he like sips and then pours some whiskey in, and then sips and then pours some
So
whiskey
actually,
in until he's just drinking whiskey out of an espresso.
The guy at Edwards is going to show you a drink that he does.
Nice.
So they have a very it's a flavored kind of like a peach whiskey,
Yeah.
and what they do is they kind of but instead of dropping the espresso glass, they just pour it straight in,
Nice.
and then you shoot it because
Yeah.
it's going to cool down instantly.
Yeah.
And it's lovely.
Nice.
And coffee.
He definitely does at least 2 of those. Yeah.
Coffee is not as frequent outside of the belt. So here in the belt, the islands.
Yeah, you can get it. Yeah.
You can get it, but it's
And I think that's why he's big on going and getting as much of it as he can before they leave here.
once you start getting north and south,
you never
it
know when you're going
becomes-
to get it again.
well, you'll get it. It's
Yeah.
just really expensive.
Right.
Patrice is there with you, unless you tell him not.
No, absolutely. He can come. Yeah.
Scout,
Patrice is always welcome with Skjald unless Skjald is like, you don't want to go where I'm going. And it's not because you're not welcome, it's because you don't want to go where I'm going.
What did you order? Like, what are you planning to order?
You eat mostly vegetables, is that right?
But like I've been thinking about branching out a little bit.
Okay.
So like what
Sure.
are you planning to I'm planning to try some new things. And I feel like we're going to be on a boat for a bit. I'm going to be around, different... We're all going to be eating the same thing pretty much.
Patrice...
And so I kind of...
I just want to be very straight up with you.
Okay.
I don't think it's a good idea to eat something brand new right before you get on a boat. in my experience, trying especially a like whole variety of food that you have never had and haven't gotten your stomach accustomed to.
Okay.
I've known people who ate mostly vegetables who tried out meats and stuff like that, and it really jacked up their stomachs really quick.
Okay.
And I don't know how you are on the water. I don't know how much time you've
I
spent
don't
on the
know
water.
how I am on the
Yeah,
water.
that's my concern. Yeah. Yeah. Let's let you figure
You're
out the
speaking-
water first, and then let's figure out
Okay,
me.
okay.
How's
So
that
we
sound?
can like
Yeah.
maybe we can so I'll just get some greens.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
some,
absolutely.
Maybe some
Yeah.
grapefruit.
Yeah.
Right
And
now-
if you want to stop somewhere on the way up to Edwards to grab like a salad to go, we can drop the bowl back off when we're on our way back down.
You do know,
You know.
you do know that the norm for meat on a float is going to be salted pork. So
And fish. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
fish is just we caught us as you go.
yeah.
Okay.
So, because I'm about to eat what is basically just skin and fat and baby chickens.
That's description of a bacon, egg,
You
and
know-
cheese sandwich.
I've had these things. It's been
Okay.
a while.
Okay.
It's just, but I think that what you're saying,
Yeah.
is steeped in wisdom,
I appreciate
and
it.
I'm gonna take those words and I'm gonna keep
Yeah,
them at the
that
forefront of
12,
my
we can call it
mind for a while, and I'm gonna follow your advice, and we'll introduce things a little bit at a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
12 is higher than average.
It is. It's higher than
So-
average. I was like, I'm pretty sure I have a 10 in wisdom, but it's above average.
So I'm gonna hold off until
Yeah.
I've been on the boat
I think that's a good
for a
idea.
day or two, and then I'll try and introduce a little bit at a time. This is a good idea.
I think that's a good
Oh,
idea. Yeah.
One thing before I forget, and I think this is a John. I know it's a John thing versus a Scald thing. Scald would call it a ship because a boat is a little thing.
I actually think that Skald calls everything a boat on purpose.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
John is very aware of the difference.
Okay,
Yes.
that's what I'm getting at. I just want to make sure.
Skald calls everything a boat
Okay, that's
for
fine.
a very specific
Okay,
reason.
I just want to make sure that the slight
Yes.
is intentional.
Yes, it is
Curtis
intentional. Yes.
is not sure, but Patrice probably would be sure to call it a ship. So I retroactively I
Yeah.
referred to it as a ship.
Yes.
So
Uh-huh.
Patrice knows the
Yeah,
difference
yeah,
between
yeah.
a ship and
Absolutely,
a boat,
yeah,
and a dinghy,
yeah,
and he's lived in a port town his whole
Right.
life,
Absolutely.
so
yeah.
he knows.
Yeah. Skald
So-
very intentionally calls everything a boat.
Like you want to piss off a submariner, call it a ship.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
You want to piss off an aircraft carrier sailor,
Call it a boat.
Yep, because the submarine's a boat.
Which I do in real life.
Yeah, I know exactly because I do it to him too when I'm
Yeah.
very rarely around.
That's like
done
what I
that
do
to
to
him in a
civil
while.
engineers. I say
Yeah.
they went to
It's
took
happening later
dirt
this
lab
week.
instead of
Yeah.
soils lab.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
don't
exactly.
call
Dirt
it
lab.
soil.
Yeah, yeah.
When you call it dirt, they don't like it.
Yeah, it's the best.
So as you're now moving south from Edwards,
Yeah.
for how long are you looking to purchase? How many are you looking to purchase?
I'm going to buy 1 gold piece worth
Okay.
of booze, food, and cigars.
So most
How
of that's
far does
going
that get me?
Most of that's going to go to cigars.
Yes. That was the expectation.
It's going to get you 2 full. So a regular.
So I've got a couple boxes.
What we have in America box wise.
Yeah.
You're going to get 2 of them
Cool. That's perfect.
because 2 whiskey drinks is going to.
Yeah.
It adds up a little bit.
Yeah.
but Also, again,
Perfect.
the bacon is perfect.
Yes.
Patrice
As
would
it
like to
should
buy
be.
1 cigar.
Before Patrice can buy a cigar, Skeld is like, "What? I got you. Don't you worry. Yeah, I got
That-
you. Yeah.
That's very kind.
Yeah, we'll
of
try
you.
it out. Yeah.
All right.
I've got
not
more
right
than-
away though. You
We're gonna be on the water for a day or 2, and then we'll try them. out.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
This
And
is
then-
exactly what I wanted.
And
This
then
is exactly what I wanted.
Skeld is who else is with us? Did you come
I
with
would
us?
come.
You're not awake yet. Yeah,
I'd be there.
you'd be there. So
Yeah.
I like turned to the 2 of you to Sid and Patrice, and I'm like, so this gauntlet thing looks pretty cool, right? Like just between the 3 of us, like that Kraken shit
It is.
going on.
It is
pretty-
fetching and terrifying.
I agree. Like I think it looks really cool. I think it goes with this whole aesthetic that I apparently have going on.
I need all 3 of you to make a perception check, please.
16.
Okay.
Perfect.
Should be 13. 13.
Oh, that's not bad.
Because I was impressed that we didn't eat it all before.
That's going to be 16 for me.
16, 13,
So
16.
the 16s. So Patrice and Scald, you notice that So sorry, podcast listeners, you're not going to see it. I actually have a tattoo of an octopus on my arm. In one of the little tentacles, like this right here, you see a ship.
Nice.
To give you a scale of how big this kraken's supposed to be.
That's cool. Very cool.
That's lovely.
Yeah, I like that.
Stuck to one of the suckers.
I'm considering, like, she made this pauldron as well, and I'm considering dropping that back off to her and seeing if she can do some more of this Kraken stuff on that thing, because I think it looked really cool. But, like, I know we're, like, about to go into a relatively dangerous situation. I don't want to be dropping off armor like I did the last time before we went and got into some fights. So, maybe when we get back, I might have her tune up some more of my stuff. Like, this could be good for, business for me.
Is your stuff is yours have as much form as
I'm just so
function
pissed SOA isn't
as
there.
his does? He seems to
To make the fucking
he seems
fun
to
of you.
think that the form and the function of the armor should be equivalent.
I see mine probably mostly functional.
Yeah.
It's a little crude.
It's not crude.
It's
very high quality gear,
But unadorned.
And very
it's
well
very
done.
unadorned.
Yeah.
It's like my armor.
Yeah.
Or John and Dustin's, right? Like
Yeah.
our armor is very functional.
Very functional.
You know, it's not pretty. You know,
yeah. So yes.
all of my patches are
It fits,
practical.
it fits perfectly.
It fits perfectly. It tells you what my blood type is, like what to call me. You know, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So that's what I would see Sid
What's
as.
that? Nothing.
Yeah.
But it's because of the nature of her work before she retired.
Yeah.
It is the most functionally beneficial that it could be.
Yeah.
Like, unlike a regular Joe who's going to get it and maybe tweak it so it fits better, yours fits like a glove.
Yeah.
Like, you can do all the things ever needed in this armor. Like, you can sleep it.
It's part of me.
Yeah.
Literally, it's part of Sid. So,
Yeah.
Speaking of when we get back, we need to take a look. We need to arrange a date to go see the sea elves.
I agree. That would be, we know a sea elf. Maybe we should talk to SOA about that, and maybe she's got, like an inn.
Can tell us about the Tritons.
Yeah,
and,
like,
and
we
why
don't-
they kind of seem.
The other day, I frustrated the captain a little bit. Like maybe it's good to have like somebody that kind of like speaks the lingo, understands the cultural references, can make sure that we don't do or say or go to the wrong place. Like a guide,
That'd be
like a tour guide.
Yeah.
I don't like that phrase though. I don't want to be a tourist. I want to, but I kind of feel like a tourist.
Love
Yeah. Well, I'll talk to SOA about it.
Okay.
Make
you
sure that
you should talk to her
I'll
instead
talk
of
to
me.
her.
She's not the biggest fan.
Edwards is
it.
owned by Edward.
I've
right?
noticed
Is that
that
fair or no?
You don't know.
Oh.
you probably should try to limit your questions and comments to SOA just for a little bit.
Okay.
I don't think that it's that she particularly hates you. I think that you're a very inquisitive fellow.
Yeah.
And sometimes some of the questions that you ask she feels should be obvious. And I get that. I don't necessarily disagree with her. But you're in a realm where you don't understand certain things, and it's not a bad idea for somebody to explain it to you. It's just not her responsibility to be the one to do it. So ask me about stuff, maybe ask Sid about stuff. And if we don't know, we'll pass you along to SOA.
I like this. Okay, so
It's kind of a social buffer.
okay,
if you will.
just kind of we'll build some rapport,
Yeah.
some trust.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I just feel the whole
Some
time as this
cohesion.
happened, and I just picture Patrice picking the fro.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Just as he's thinking, yeah.
Perfect moment for Sark to wake up Elle to be like, "Fum, the sea elf is awake."
Elle wakes up red, bright red.
He doesn't wake up fast enough for that. It takes a good minute or two for it to actually, the words to turn into a language.
I get that.
Just
That's me every day.
we had decided as a group that we're setting sail today, right?
Today-ish,
That was
yeah.
the plan.
I think
Okay.
today. I don't
Cool.
think it was. I don't think it was set. it was kind of implied, I think, as a group. That's
It
what
was-
I got.
As soon as he got his stuff, we were trying
Yeah.
to set sail as
Cool.
soon after that as possible.
Cool, that's what I thought.
Did you let her into the room?
No, I definitely just like slammed the door to help wake you up, but left the door open. And then left to go pick up stuff.
So she's gonna be very confused if she's not there once he realizes what you actually said.
I'm not there. Right? I am. Like, would I be if I got up into the crow's nest? Would I be like out of the way?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
probably-
there's 3 crow's nests, right? The aft and the fore one are both occupied right now by people who are prepping. You know, you see spyglasses are being made or being set up, and these are not small ones. These are big ones that are being put on spindles. But the center crow's nest is unoccupied, so you could go up there and probably be out of the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Make a dexterity check to see how much of a struggle it is.
A straight dexterity or acrobatics?
Acrobatics, it'll be fine.
13.
You can tell it's been a minute since you've had to climb up into one of these, but after your muscles are tense when you get in there, but it wasn't that much of a struggle. But it's definitely been a little bit of time since you've had to do this task.
Cool.
So,
I'm gonna go into town.
okay.
I'm picking up 20 pouches and 2 miner's picks.
What's the
20
cost on that?
pouches.
Yes. It's 5 silver per pouch and 2 gold per miner's pick.
So how many miners picks are you doing?
2.
Just 2?
So it's
So those are we'll just go with the stock price on those.
okay. So I'm spending 14 gold.
Yeah, so that would be, and that would be something a little bit. Actually, you could probably get 1 axe from Nine Brothers. So that'll take,
Okay.
but the rest of it would be like, yeah, that's something you're gonna have to purchase on your own.
That's fine.
I'm gonna make basically the same run that Scaldo's making, just like 3 hours later.
Also, Sid wants to buy 3 bags of the whoever's at the desk of the at Edwards' favorite tobacco. Like,
Do you want all the same, or do you want variety?
variety? Like they're the 3 different.
So the 3 bags that he brings to you, he describes one as kind of having chocolate notes.
Okay.
One has having a like a blackberry note, and then the third is just a more traditional tobacco flavor with a little hint of cane sugar. Yeah,
I forgot to do the math.
Good choice.
How much gold?
That would be the 3 pouches. That would probably be 8 silver.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Because it's not quite 2 boxes of cigars.
I'm need notes on what I'm buying.
You gotta assume cigars cost more. 'Cause they take
There's a manufacturing process,
Yeah,
so yeah.
yeah.
And
Fresh
everything
too, I would assume.
everything at Edwards is made there, cigar wise.
Oh, they make. Do they have like a little room with where they roll?
That actually you can watch. So, to give you an idea, there used to be a cigar shop in the mall on the Riverwalk in San Antonio where they would make your cigars for you. And, dude,
Good cigar.
so good. Actually, it might not be because I was 19.
You know,
But it was
fair.
cool.
You know, my favorite
And you
beer
were
when I
19.
was 19 was Blue Moon, so I get it.
I'm sorry.
Exactly, right?
It's one of those words. There are worse beers out there.
Are there dumber
not
people
saying-
than 19-year-olds?
No.
Blue Moon is bad. Blue Moon is the
Objectively, no.
least of favorite beer of mine because white ales and I do not get along.
That I know. I have known. So, who else is shopping?
He needs to go to the blacksmith still.
No, I'm not gonna go. I already picked up my stuff.
No,
Oh.
this would be part. That's
Oh, I need to go pick it up?
yeah.
Okay.
It's part of the adventure.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
then I need to go to the blacksmith,
I
yeah.
just was gonna move things forward. I didn't realize that
Gotcha.
everyone else had shopping to do.
Gotcha.
So
I only thought about it because of question.
No, that's fair.
But we were just already talking about the thing, so I'm just gonna assume that I hit that place on the way. We already basically RP'd the pickup on the last one, so yeah.
So now it's just whatever you needed to pick up. If you needed to pick anything else up there at the blacksmith shop.
I mean, we know that there isn't really actually. How many weapons does Skeld have on him? You know, I can't have a character that doesn't have
Like a
kilt
hand axe
made
or
of
whatever.
weapons. So I only have one dagger, and that seems woefully unprepared.
Patrice has twice as many daggers.
That's. I feel like a sham. So while I'm at the blacksmith, I'm gonna ask if there's like a bandolier for throwing knives or daggers that I could buy.
So at this point, when you came in, Master Lindor was just opening shop. So she hadn't started. Hadn't started prepping for the day. So actually, it's one of the gnomes who was actually taking you around.
Yeah,
And
that's fine.
He shows you to a section of the arms wall where there are 3 separate sets of bandoliers.
Okay.
There's one for daggers, one for axes, and then one for stilettos.
I think I would go with daggers.
Okay.
Because
daggers and stilettos would be the same thing. It's just
just
variety,
flavor wise,
and then they're hand axes. Right.
I think I would definitely go for the daggers. And
are
I
you
wanna
looking
see if
for-
there's anything special
Are you looking for waist or across the shoulder bandoliers?
across the shoulder?
Okay. Yeah. So there's 2 of them. There's one that's just a straight hang.
Yeah.
And there's one that attaches to your belt.
I'll probably do the one that attaches
They're the same
to
price.
the belt. Yeah,
They're the same
probably do
price.
the one that attaches to the belt.
Okay.
And I want to know if any of these bandoliers have any special properties. I know that she sells some stuff that's pretty interesting.
These don't have any special magical qualities,
Okay.
but they do have. The gnome shows you that there's a special back pocket that comes with these particular ones that comes with an additional stiletto
Nice.
that
Excellent.
has so when you pull it, it's gonna have and it's you only get to use it once per day.
Yeah.
It gives you advantage on the thrown property,
Nice. Excellent.
but it's got to be either the first round or a surprise round to use.
Gotcha. Okay. And then
This is Morgan making shit up on the
Yeah,
fly.
I like that. Yeah. That's good.
Somebody
That's real
writing it
good.
down so we don't forget
I'll put it
It's
in mine.
recorded.
Yeah.
that too.
I don't know if you were aware, but we record these,
Not in the moment.
and you can listen to them.
I've said
like, in
terrible
3 days,
things
I'll
about
remember this.
anatomy while we've been doing this.
There's
Telling
this-
me there's a recording on
There's
the
a few
internet
places
for all to hear?
where you can find this recording.
Moving
Morgan,
on.
where are those places?
Your best place to find it is anchor.fm/campaign concoctions. Find us on your favorite podcatcher.
Hear all the naughty things that we've said.
And then, does it come with daggers then,
Except for my children.
or do I need to pick
You're not
out
allowed
some
to listen.
daggers to go in there?
Ever.
It comes with the stiletto.
Okay. So
So-
amongst the daggers, are there any?
I'm trying to think about how many daggers it would probably hold.
Are there any? Let's not call it +1, or any? Anything in her shop
no.
that's
So-
unique, shadowy. Perhaps she had other shadowy shit.
There's a that whole set of
Yeah.
that vibe
Yeah.
is available for everything. So if
Gotcha.
you want, so basically it'd be like blacked out blades.
Sure. Yeah,
Where
yeah.
the only thing that's shiny is the edge.
Yeah.
And the edges here are spectacular.
Yeah, I think everything should be blacked out.
Okay.
Everything that I get should be blacked out and trimmed in silver.
And or adamantium.
Yeah. I read the funniest tweet the other day from D&D'er that I follow on Twitter, and she said one of the hardest decisions to make when you're creating, when you're RPing a character is the day that you have to decide if they're a gold accessories or a silver accessories character. And that resonated with me so hard. I was like, no, it's real though.
It's
Like,
very real.
Yeah.
You gotta decide. It's one or the other.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
be mixing that shit up.
So the bandolier
And once
is,
you make a decision, you're stuck.
you
with it.
Yeah.
stick with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so the
aesthetic.
bandolier is going to carry 5 daggers, so you would need to buy 4 more. And in this case, the blacked out daggers are the full cost.
Yeah.
So that'd be 2 gold pieces each.
Okay.
Most gold.
And then the bandolier itself. we'll say is an additional gold.
Okay.
Question.
Answer.
Plating.
What do you mean?
Like, let's say we found a fancy knife, and Sid needed this fancy knife, and he thought it was the greatest knife, except it wasn't copper. Could we find an individual to plate it in copper to make it match his...
A master blacksmith could do it.
Okay.
As a master lindor.
Great. That's all I wanted.
I don't know what the process would be. However, a plated blade is not the same as a copper blade.
Correct.
So that plating can possibly wear off.
The price you pay for aesthetics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you buy copper plated barware,
Don't put it in the dishwasher.
don't put that shit in the dishwasher.
No.
Ever. It's
Bad.
beautiful, but don't. I took my sister took a picture of the inside of her dishwasher the other day, and it was covered in copper plating. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Don't do that.
Okay.
Just buy stainless steel.
Skull. Anything else that you need?
Nope, that'll do it for me.
Patrice. Sid?
Yeah.
Anything?
Good.
I'm gonna stop at Edwards, buy some cigars and some loose leaf.
How much are you looking for?
It's probably gonna spend at least. He's open to spending about 5 gold on it
So 5 gold.
in a variety of flavors, specifically anything that's got some plum notes to it.
Okay. So that'll bring you, if you go evenly, that'll buy you 5 boxes and 10 pouches. 8 pouches.
Is that 10 pouches?
8. I reevaluated.
So here. It's from my flowing locks.
It's funny because it's either super flowy locks at the table or short hair.
I find 2 things in odd places: hair from my children and wife, and the other day I was changing clothes to do softball practice during lunch, and a pair of tiny girl underwear fell out of my shorts, and I felt immediately embarrassed and needlessly, but like, oh my gosh, that's what a pedophile keeps in their underwear. I don't like this. This is bad. Don't want to explain it to anyone.
Or a girl dad. You're a girl dad.
I'm a girl dad. I'm a girl dad. Yeah, tiny little underwear fell out of my shorts.
And I'm also gonna buy, if I can, some coffee. Like coffee that I can make later.
What kind? How do you brew your coffee? Because you're an artificer.
There's lots of pipes and
Do you need more time?
I don't know. I don't know if he was really familiar with coffee before this, given how expensive it would have been.
I mean, if you think about it, though, the process of steeping coffee and steeping tea are not that uncommon. So I feel that there's a thing that you could probably figure out.
Probably. I just don't know if he has something ready because he's had coffee before and was like, "Fuck yes, it's cheap."
You probably would have, because I'm quite sure that the boss keeps coffee available for his guests.
Then he
Matt, what's the
definitely
name of
would have
that
used it
weird
for some
vacuum
all-nighters.
siphon thing that they use?
I forget.
Because I feel like you would have something like that.
I know exactly what he has.
Yeah. All right. Never mind. I'll stop talking. We'll wait. We'll wait
I will-
patiently.
Yeah, right.
Until he looks it up.
5-pound bag, 2 gold.
Done.
Weird connection. You buy it at Edwards.
That's kind of where I expected.
Makes
to buy
sense, right?
Coffee and cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They roast their own coffee, so.
Of course they do. Not our Edwards though.
Can Edwards just exist in real life?
Yeah, right.
It
We're
does.
halfway
sort of.
there.
it. Yeah.
It doesn't have bacon, egg, and ham breakfast
It
sandwiches.
does not.
Coffee roaster.
Definitely does
Oh.
not.
But they do have an amazing humidor.
So
They do.
when we open our Dungeons and Dragons themed cocktail bar,
Yes.
and
We will make bacon and egg sandwiches. Yes.
and we will roast coffee.
We will roast coffee, and we will have a humidor.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, cool. We
It'll
just
be
gotta-
the everything place.
Yeah.
This is the coffee maker that he has.
Yes, he does. yes, he does.
Oh, that's so extra.
Make sure to share that to the
Yes,
Discord.
please share that
extra.
on the Discord.
Yes, please.
Makes a whole lot of sense.
And it's the best damn cup of coffee outside of Nomaragon or whatever it's called. Tinkermere.
Tinkermere.
Outside of Tinkermere.
Well, this is actually gonna be better because it doesn't have
It's
to
fresh roast.
It doesn't have to travel a week by airship to get there.
Yeah.
Coffee, you want to give it a little bit of time after you roast it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to let it sit. So like
It's
that,
about 2
that,
weeks.
that week on airship.
You gotta let
shouldn't-
that CO come out, right?
Yeah.
The carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide gotta come out.
But
of
see, the people at Edwards are experts, unlike Morgan. So he knows that the people at Edwards would know.
Yeah.
Morgan's at a disadvantage because he's not part of the
Not a
half of this room
barista?
that used to
Yeah.
be baristas,
Yeah, no.
so.
Yeah.
No, I just tip my baristas very well.
You
Sure,
should.
right? As well you should.
All right.
I got a 30-day Facebook suspension for talking shit to someone who was talking shit about baristas. I'm happy with it. It's fine.
We're all shocked.
Anything else that you would like, Elle?
Nothing in particular.
Okay.
He's still in design phase for the rest of the stuff and isn't ready to get ingredients yet.
Sark?
How is the ship in regards to like areas to do work? Like if you wanted to fabricate a thing.
Is that something you would have asked one of the officers or Captain McKinsey?
He'd probably just be looking around at this point for it.
There is an empty cargo hold. And you have been told by you two, when you came aboard, did not meet either Saran or Delilah. You actually ran into Zayim Tariq, the second mate.
Okay.
He is a male tiefling, and he is a white tiefling. They're kind of the rarest of the bunch. Like, the only ones that are more rare are the ones that look like Prosperin. He does tell you that the ship and all of its spaces are available to you to use as you see fit. They have been guided.
Mate, right?
Second mate, yep. First officer, first mate, second officer, second mate. They're all same title.
Making sure I was getting the rank.
No, you're fine. As I'm slowly adding my notes on the crew, it started off with just names and gender, and now it's slowly adding. I forgot to add which color of tiefling they were,
Right.
because that does matter. Because unlike Player's Handbook tieflings, the damage type of your spells change. Did I just spell myself?
No, you got it on your knuckle.
Okay.
There you go. I didn't want it to go to waste or
Exactly.
get on your pants.
I think SOA, you're the only one that... Did you need to have any shopping today?
I wasn't shopping. I'm up in the crow's nest playing melancholy songs about shipping out and leaving port.
So you, as the crew is doing work, they're singing shanties, and you're playing along.
If I noticed, I would climb into the crow nest.
What are you
So I-
playing? What instrument are you playing while you're up?
It's a lute.
It's a lute?
Yeah.
All right, is there anything that anyone else would like to do right now?
Do you want me to make an acrobatics check to get to the crow's nest?
Yes, please. I'm not very worried about the monk climbing fucking things, but...
You were like a dexterity
Something
check. I'm
that's
like,
meant to be
really?
applied.
It's a 13.
The DC was stupid.
I know.
But, like, rolling dice is fun.
I enjoy rolling the dice.
I just wanted to see if I didn't know what I was doing on a ship in film.
So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take a really quick break, make some drinks, and then we'll be right back after the short break.
Excellent.
Welcome back to Camp Benson Concoctions. We are drinking a lot of drinks right now.
Yeah.
Well, Curtis, if you would start off with what I'm drinking right now. We got two variations of it. So
I want to call it an anejo rum fashion. It involves aged rum. We have two variations on the table. We have an Appleton 12-year, and we have a Kirk and Sweeney. What
the
version?
Reserva.
The Reserva. Essentially, it's an old fashioned, but you use rum. It's amazing, and you should do it. So it's got 2 ounces of your pick the best rum you can find, and then you use a bar spoon of cane syrup. The one that we have is Petite Canne. I found it at Applejack's, but you can get it online a few different places. And then it's got a 2 droppers, not 2 drops, but 2 droppers of the Bitterman's Tiki Bitters. And then it has a grapefruit peel that is expressed, twisted, rubbed around the rim, and dropped in.
That's right.
Like you do. Like you do.
Like you do.
And as I've said multiple times in the last 15 minutes, we are all whiskey drinkers here at this table, and I love whiskey. But rum is my spirit of choice, and this is now my cocktail.
Yeah.
Oh, I really love.
One of the great things about this type of drink is you don't need to have a lot of different stuff to make it.
Yeah.
As long as you can get a nice big rock of ice, and you have the right size glass, you can stir it directly in the glass instead of in a stirring glass itself. So this is an old fashioned is the most popular and best cocktail for a reason. It's delicious, wonderful, and easy. And if it's your first cocktail you ever make at home, that's probably the best way you could go about it.
Mm-hmm. Even a bad one's good.
Exactly. It's still good. Second beverage we made is called a Java Flow. A Java Flow is essentially a pina colada with coffee. So the specs
and it's delicious.
The specs on the one we made tonight are specifically for John's palate, which is different than my palate. So
I like booze.
He likes the
I don't know if
booze.
you're aware, if you picked up on it, but I'm a pretty big fan of booze.
So it's got 2 ounces of Appleton Signature, and then it has another ounce. It was an ounce and a half and an ounce and a half. So I did an ounce and a half of Appleton. I did another ounce and a half of Don Ku 151. Then I cut back the simple syrup from 1.5. Down to 1 ounce of the coconut cream of coconut, which is a sweetened coconut milk.
So think coconut simple syrup.
Coco Lopez.
Yeah, Coco Lopez. Yeah,
Coco
yeah.
Lopez.
It's essentially a coconut simple syrup.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then it's got a half an ounce of lime juice, 3/4 of an ounce of the St. George coffee liqueur.
Yeah.
And this one, it also you shake that up in the
cheater tin.
In the cheater tin.
Yeah.
With crushed ice, and you shake and dump it into your glass.
Dirty dump.
You dirty dump it into your glass. This time I garnished it with a lime peel.
Yeah.
That's not needed, but it adds a little bit of color.
Yeah.
Also,
beautiful.
a fancy straw or some pineapple fronds is a good way to
Little
go.
umbrella.
I actually think what would make it look cool is like a little triangle of pineapple.
Yeah.
I think that would
we
work.
need
with it.
when pineapple is really truly back in season.
yeah.
We'll be buying some.
So-
I'm gonna rum soak some pineapple.
John,
I think putting a
I'm
strawberry
gonna be honest
just a
with the
flash.
listeners
Just
out in
a
TV
cherry,
land.
a strawberry.
I forgot the pineapple juice in there,
Oh well, it tastes delicious.
and but typically a pina colada has pineapple juice.
Typically it does.
Typically it does. So, but
And pineapple is my favorite fruit.
So-
I am a little offended.
You
But
should
I'm
be.
gonna move
now,
on.
if you want to make this drink at home, this is a great drink to make at home because it involves some simple ingredients and you can blend it instead. So instead of using pineapple juice from a can or fresh squeezed pineapple juice, you can cut up a pineapple, just throw about as many chunks as you want in there. You get a big old thing of ice and you get some overproof rum and you put the coconut, a cream of coconut in there. It blends. It's so much better blended than when it's over ice.
This is a slushy. Sounds amazing.
It is so good, and then you get little bits of the fiber of the pineapple as you suck it up in the straw. It's the best drink.
I would way
Literally
over
the
drink
best
while
drink.
doing yard work with this any summer. So any day of the summer.
So, family, if you are not looking at fancy rum or overproof rum, we as a table do recommend a specific rum, and that is Sailor Jerry's.
Yes.
So if you're
If you're looking for a good run-of-the-mill rum.
cheaper spiced rum,
Yeah.
that's the only one that we drink at this
And if
table,
you're
so.
looking for a low-end Jamaican rum, Appleton's Signature in the big bottle, hard to pour, but it's worth every penny.
That's also, it's a little bit pricier than the Sailor.
oh yeah, no, definitely. It's probably twice the price.
So, and then Jared's got
Real quick, I concocted something I decided to call Dargon's Vengeance. It was 1 ounce and 3/4 of Kraken black spiced rum, 1 ounce and 3/4 of pineapple juice. I think it was a 1/2 ounce of Amaro liqueur, and then
The gargoyle.
the gargoyle
Gargoyle
Amaro
Amaro.
liqueur, and then I garnished it with a dried pineapple, and some blood orange that I also expressed into the glass.
There you go.
There you go.
We keep
That's it.
specifying gargoyle.
And also 2 dashes of orange bitters.
We keep specifying gargoyle because it's a signature series from Law's Whiskey House.
Yes.
Which is a local place for us.
And Laws has my favorite rye that I have ever drank.
Hell
the Laws
to the
Bonded
yes.
Rye is hands down the best rye I have ever tasted.
If you
in
can
my
get a
life.
hold of a bottle of Laws and you can afford it, because it is not
It's
cheap.
not cheap. It's not crazy expensive.
It's
but
No,
it's
it's not
that
like
bad.
Scotch
No.
expensive.
No, not even close.
But it's
not even like overpriced bourbon expensive.
as the poorest guy at the table, it is pricey for
I'll give
me.
you a run for your money. Literally.
Average
And
bottle
neither of
price-
us can run, so we're both fucked.
I think average for their
We should have
bottles
a bum
is
fight.
Right?
75.
I've already been there and done that.
I know you have.
So
For a burrito.
Moving on. Let's get back to the story.
The face that I was making when Curtis was describing his drink had nothing to do with his drink and had everything to do with, I feel like we need to do, like, on our off weeks, even if it's just, like, recording via, Discord chat or something like that, or even just doing a Discord stream.
do a live stream.
Do a live stream where we discuss liquors, where we discuss cocktails.
That's a good idea.
I think we could do whiskey
so
30
tastings.
minutes.
We
So
could-
here's what
30
we're gonna
minutes
do.
to an hour
Here's
at the
what we're
most.
gonna do. Let
yeah.
me. I'll put it out there, family. For those of you who are interested, please get on the Discord server or the Instagram page and tell us if you would be interested in an
Yeah.
off week.
Like booze discussion, specifically booze discussion.
Because here's the problem.
And it'll get on to D&D, just like our D&D gets on to booze.
The problem is that the off week
Yeah.
is the week we record.
I get that.
So
So I'm saying the off week from when
Yeah.
these are released.
So
that would
whenever-
be, well, I guess I get. Yeah, that makes sense.
it'd be the week that it'd be the same day that we drop the episode, family. So just let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Get on the Discord. Tell us what you think. If you wanna have a live discussion with us in the Discord server, we do have a voice channel there where we can get on and we can talk.
Maybe
set
we
up
do it
more.
a different day. Maybe we don't do it on Sundays.
We
you know,
can figure
something like that.
We'll
We can
figure it out.
Yeah.
But at this point, shopping is done.
Yes.
Yep.
Onto the boat.
Everyone is
Some
making
of us
it.
have been on the boat.
You just stayed on the boat the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, because of when most
Traumatized from us leaving you at the harbor house.
No, I'm ready to leave Haven.
Oh, God. That's why it's just like, I just want the fuck out of this place.
as most of you awoke fairly early in the day, even when the teenagers
Yes.
woke up, it was still that was like 6:30 because of the way that the ship operates. So it's like at this point, by the time Elle is back on the ship, we're probably looking at about 9 o'clock in the morning. So what you guys do?
I'm hanging out in the crow's nest with SOA.
Skald is probably hanging out with Mackenzie.
When you came back,
Yeah.
Scald and Patrice and Sid, you saw the gun crew carrying the remainder of the order of the boarding hooks.
Yes.
As well, it seems like they may have gotten a little bit more cannonballs. They seem to have taken you up.
They
on
understand that I wanted to load up a little.
Yeah.
Good. And they were on the same page.
Yeah.
They're like, this is a good excuse to buy munitions.
Before we weigh anchor, wanted to check and see if we got the charts that we talked with Lucille about.
Lucille wasn't able to find anything for you guys. Mostly because, as much as, again, she's still relatively new to this position. She is not a Haven native, so she's not a sailor. So she had a hard time. She does say that, hey, probably at this point, your best bet's going to be speaking to your captain.
Then I will let Captain Mackenzie know that we have heard that there is a old pirate port on the west side of the island.
It may or may not be functional currently.
Yeah, we don't know anything more about it. But since we're headed there, figured we'd let him know.
He does say that none of the crew has actually been to Rugen. They've been past it. Because if you were going west or east from Haven, you have to pass it, right? Especially if you're going to anywhere else. And sometimes the way that the wind takes you, the best way to get to Wudan is to pass it. So this will be a first for all of them. So the idea now is, as you come up, you see L, as you talk to Captain McKenzie, you see Scald is standing there with the captain. He is at the wheel. He's ready to rock.
Mm-hmm.
Next to him is Sharon. You two would recognize Zaim is in the aft crow's nest. You're watching. Anyone who's willing to look around can see Delilah directing her two people, lowering the gear through. There's a right behind the center mast. There's you see it in ships where it's the kind of like that cross-hatched opening that looks down. That is lifted up, and they're lowering down cannonballs, shot, and the boarding hooks into the gunners, the gun deck. Everyone else seems to be going about their business, but most of the crew, the crew that you haven't really met yet, they seem to be standing on the edge at the railings. And they seem to be keeping a lookout, and they're waiting for the captain's orders. So as the 6 of you, 2 of you up on the crow's nest, the 4 of you on the deck, what is you guys are ready to do now?
I walk up to Captain McKenzie and I say, Captain, you ready?
Well, I believe we're quite ready. No, I cannot get it right. Get that accent going right now.
That's all right.
Too much Sweeney.
No, it's just my brain.
Yeah.
It's
sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
Accents are weird like that.
I'm not naturally from the South, so like my brain is going to a French accent right now.
I say,
Mais oui.
Prepare the hors d'oeuvres for it.
And see, and forever in my brain, tieflings were French.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it too. Like it just fits, right?
yeah,
it
it
just
does,
totally
it does,
fits.
yeah.
I don't know why.
the resistance,
They're
all that
cheeky
kind of stuff.
bastards. I love them.
They've always
Tricky
been
mind.
kind of like Slavic to me. I don't know why.
Everyone's got their thing, right?
Like, you know,
They are the
Eastern
Roman.
Black.
Jester-
I
Jester's
think that's
little
part of it. I
Eastern
think it's
European,
because you
yeah.
made them essentially Roma. You know.
Oh, you totally
Yeah,
did.
yeah. So I say, Captain, anchors away.
Y'all ready to go then? All right. And he hollers out, "Make way and cast off the sails." And you see in the sails, nothing unfurls, but you hear
Yeah.
the clank of the anchor.
Yeah.
And one of the things about tieflings is they just you recognize the Skald being what you are. There's just an inherent level of magic
Yeah.
in your two species.
Yeah.
And you watch as the crew that are sitting there on the dock side, you see them weaving somatic elements
Nice.
as a gentle push of water pushes the Shirlene out into sea.
Yeah.
As I see the sailors hoisting on lines, and as I see the somatic and verbal elements of whatever they're doing subside, I start thumping on my chest from beside the captain.
Right before you do,
Yeah.
you hear the crew
Yeah.
begin to thump.
All right.
You hear,
As soon as I hear the thumps, I say, as loud as I can, "Now we are ready to head for the Horn.
beat.
Way, hey, roll and go. Our boots and our clothes, boys, are all in the pond to be rollicking randy dandy, yo. Heave Apollo, heave away. Way, hey, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cables are stowed to be rollicking randy dandy, yo. And I continue the rest of the song, which I will not sing because it's 3 minutes long. Nice.
Oh, shit! Look at you guys.
Yeah.
You're like 2 peas.
Is it the same shanty? Okay.
So I am not writing a second fucking
Oh, fuck
shanty.
no. I wasn't about... I picked one that didn't have any place names.
Mine does.
Besides the horn.
Mine references Bridgehold
Yeah.
and ice whales, and yeah, mine is.
I will eventually modify some real sea shanties with place names from Librarth, but I wasn't there yet in my life this last couple of weeks. But I wanted to make sure that we sang a sea shanty on the way out of harbor.
You literally beat me by about 2.5 seconds. So I was getting ready to sing. So
We've got a whole campaign of sea shanties to go.
That's
Oh,
one-
God, no.
That's one of my
That's
favorite
it.
shanties.
That's
That's
it.
one of my favorite shanties.
you guys have lost your chance to hear my horrible singing.
I will be singing more. Hopefully next time I won't be
But-
as nervous.
Eventually, you hear the songs come. The songs come. The first one you hear is for those the two of you who have been afloat, and actually Sid, this one would be one that you have heard as well. It's Fear the Ice Whale. It's one that is native to southern Seacan because of the ice whale itself, and it talks about Bridgehold, hunting ice whales, and then eventually the ship being sunk by the ice whales. An ice whale is a massively... Imagine a narwhal the size of a fucking sperm whale that is
Yeah.
a carnivore.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. They're fucking terrifying.
Oversized
what do
killer
they
whales
hunt?
with horns. Sounds great.
Everything.
Are they like marlins where they like whack their prey with their sword to like despondent them and then like come in back around for the kill?
Oh no, they're just straight. They're
Just
just
spear the hell
they're
out of
just
them.
straight spear.
Okay.
And they've acquired the taste of sentient creature. They are a very real risk in the southern seas for shipping. So I'm interested. This is the one thing at this table, like everyone rolls when I don't tell them to, and I'm always interested to know why. So
Whales haven't entered the realm of Sark's in curiosity and anatomy yet.
That's fair.
even though you would be familiar with whales because you are from where the flying whales are.
Yeah, but he's also like, I have too many bipedal organics to poke at the moment.
As you, all of you feel the eventual catch of the sails as, in rhythm to Skjald's song, the sails are lowered. The everything is done. You know, the sea shanty is a work song. Everything is done in tune with the songs, and then eventually they begin to take hold. The two of you who are have been sailors in the past begin to feel that comfort level of the sound and the creaking of the wood, the heat of the sun beating down on you, the tang of the salt in the air, that brininess that's there, and as eventually I had to correct something from last episode. It's planes fly to, winds fly from. My bad, internet. I'm surprised no one corrected me on that one. No one corrected me on that one. But the predominant winds are westerly. So fortunately, you're not having to tack into the wind. You have the wind at your backs as eventually it turns. The sails fill with the wind. And as you leave the protected shoals of Haven, eventually it hits hard and you begin to move.
As we're starting to leave the harbor,
Okay.
and we're getting to be like just barely still in sight of Harbor House itself, where it's still you can make out the shape of Harbor House. Patrice is gonna make his way back to the upper level. Is that the poop deck on the back?
No,
Aft
that
deck?
is
Aft
the.
deck?
Where did I have it? I believe that's a quarter deck.
Quarter deck.
Quarter deck, yes.
So Patrice is going to make his way to the top of the quarter deck, looking back at his home of his whole life. He's going to speak to himself, but speak softly. I woke the same as any other day, except a voice was in my head. It said, seize the day, pull the trigger, drop the blade, and watch the rolling heads.
Okay. So, as the six of you now kind of take your you Janid, let's see here. You two have been afloat before. You had to have been. You spent a long time
Traveling here.
traveling here.
Can I make a Constitution save?
Yeah, that's exactly where we were going.
Ooh,
Nice.
that's good. I have +5 Constitution. I'm solid.
Hey yo.
22.
Somebody min-max their con.
Curtis, min max.
Min-max?
Never.
Not a thing.
Not me.
Curtis, aka Min Maximus.
So
I still want you to name a character that.
It's gonna happen one of these days.
Let's see.
It might.
Miss
It,
Maximus?
Min
What are you
Maximus Annihilus
So-
Medianus.
as we hit the rougher waters
get it,
outside the
right?
bay,
Okay.
or the outside of the
Harbor.
harbor, I rolled low. FYI,
What are you rolling?
I'm rolling not for the waves, but for the essence of Sid starting something she's never experienced before and knows this is a new phase of journey. Like I feel like she has an essence that this is the start of something new to her, and it's kind of intimidating.
Okay.
So I picture her standing kind of close to Mackenzie, and as we hit the rougher waters, she's gonna grab Mackenzie.
There are no rough waters.
No, not yet. Okay.
No. It's just that the speed picks up because you're no longer in the protected harbor.
So as this,
So there's some swells, but this is
Okay.
it's a beautiful clear day. It's not
Okay.
rough seas.
so as we pick up speed and we feel that shift, she's gonna grab Mackenzie's arm and hold on, and kind of be like, "This is the start of something new." And she says it out loud.
As soon as you grab the captain, your hand is instantly removed.
Okay.
Not by him, but by the first mate.
Okay.
Very cool. What's your passive perception?
And it's not like
14.
an aggressive thing.
Okay.
It's just because that's
You
the
notice,
captain.
like,
and
as the,
you're
like,
kind of in a
song's
space
going
where you
on,
don't belong.
starts fidgeting
One at a time.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, hold on. You're in a space. You're in a space
Oh,
that
I wanted to-
you don't belong,
Okay.
and so you're gently but firmly moved.
Cool.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Sorry.
You don't know what, but Sark's fidgeting with something when the music's going on.
Do you sing, Sark?
No. And he pulls out a flute. Like, it's a nice, well-crafted wooden flute. I have this.
I'd love to hear you play it.
I woke up with it. I don't know if I know how to play with it.
When I wake up with it,
With the
I know how to play it.
I can help. Do you know how to?
This is on the internet.
This is on the internet. correct?
Forever. The internet is forever.
On that note, do you know how you're supposed to hold it?
Straight flute.
Trick flute,
Straight flute.
straight flute. Oh
Wooden
yeah,
flute.
yeah.
He kind of holds it mostly. His fingers may not be in the correct place. He has the overall right, and he's like, maybe.
I feel like there's a.
It's a long journey.
There's a nat. It just it feels natural, right? So like, why don't you go ahead, roll a d100 for me?
Are Sark's fingers made of metal?
They're tipped in bone.
Very cool.
30?
Would be 40, I think. Is that 30 and a 0?
It's 0 to 99, technically, with how that one operates. Or however you want to rate it. It's 30 and a 0.
You can't get a 0. Right? It's 1 to
Correct.
100 because that's
I
a
think
10.
He's 100% right.
So that's 40.
I've definitely
Yes and
seen
no.
this both ways.
Yeah. So, you read it as a 40. It's a 40.
Yeah, there's a natural feeling of like you're right, but like you've got it in a close, It's like that kid who can hold the recorder somewhat correctly the first time in music class.
Well, if you ever want help, or if you ever just want to make music, come find me.
He just kind of nods and slides it back away.
You've never tried singing.
He just stares at you blankly.
We're gonna have to work on that.
Hey yo ho, I'm the man down.
Right. I just grabs
I
a
think-
random stick and starts beating in rhythm.
I think
Mostly.
as this is going on as well, Skeld is kind of like touring the deck and like watching as people work, and if there's even a moment where somebody looks like they could use a hand, he jumps in to help out. Not like they can't do it, but just like, hey, let me hold that for you for a second, that kind of stuff. Kind of just working his way around the deck, checking in on everybody, making sure that they don't need anything essentially without getting in the way,
Do 100 for me, please.
I have my giant drink in the way. I gotta get past my giant drink.
Those goblets, they get in the way.
This is a fucking little John goblet.
Yeah.
That is 20 and a 0.
So that's 30.
2 in a row.
Yeah, everyone is very appreciative, and there's a recognition in the eyes. Like at first, when you reach to help with every person that this happens with, there's that kind of initial resistance.
Yeah.
But the fact that like you either are tying the knots correctly and solidly, that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. There's that quickly goes away with an understanding that you are competent and
Yeah.
you understand what's going on.
And I'm not like, there's no judgment in my eyes, right? It's
Yeah.
just, I happen to be here. Let me get that for you, sort of deal. Just trying to make their lives a little easier as they set sail.
So as the first day goes on, it's very uneventful. You see nowhere in your direct path does there appear to be anything within danger. But to the north and to the south, there are building big, billowy. I don't know if anyone's been to Florida, and you've seen those.
Unfortunately, yes.
I am both unfortunate and fortunate. I actually love Florida and hate it at the same time in both equal measures. But when you
There's
look
one good beach in Florida.
when you look into the south,
Man, I was 12.
yeah, no matter where but when you're looking over
Yeah.
the Gulf or anything, and you
Yeah.
see those big billowing white clouds, they're not storm
Yeah.
clouds,
Yeah.
but those are what's building to the north and south of you.
Gotcha.
The wind seems to be consistent. You're moving very, very solidly fast. Like even for the two sailors, you know that this is
About how many knots?
probably about 20.
Okay.
Like you're cooking.
That's a good clip. That's a
Like
good clip.
the ship
Yeah.
should not be able to go that
Yeah,
fast.
yeah, totally.
Like there's can I get everyone to roll an insight check for me, please?
You most certainly can.
Hey,
Oh, that's
what are
actually gonna be
Sark's
good.
pronouns?
18. Okay.
6.
Okay.
Did you say insight?
Yes, please.
13.
Okay.
24 with a net 20.
Wow.
I did 18.
19.
12.
So what was yours again?
13.
13, 12,
6.
You have no clue.
That checks out.
The rest of you are getting the sense that there is something different about this ship.
Mm-hmm.
Either the interior spaces don't match the exterior spaces. The sailors understand that the movements of these ships are slightly unnatural, not in an uncomfortable way, just a better way than what it should be for a ship this size and this make and this model, right?
Am I familiar with this phenomena?
Roll an Arcana check.
Nope. I sure am not.
Probably weren't good.
That was.
That was a really high DC.
I don't. Yeah, I figured, but a nat 1 is definitely not going to get me there.
Sark starts like looking at the woodwork that he's made of, and just like occasionally just like comparing it to the woodwork of the ship. Like should I be? I don't.
Is this a cousin of yours?
Maybe.
I need you to roll an Arcana check with advantage.
Maybe.
Yes. Get it.
That's good.
Wow.
Oh,
That's a 1 and a 2.
Oh!
Okay, never mind.
Hey, but to be fair, your advantage roll was double your straight roll.
It was.
So there's that to be said.
That's the great thing about advantage. Curtis has made us a spreadsheet.
Yes.
several of them in fact.
Many spreadsheets.
So
We all
that gets
appreciate
me an
it.
8
We
on
still
the
shake our
Arcana.
head.
What's that?
Gets me an 8 on the Arcana.
That's awesome.
You do get. Because I do want to give someone something. There is something's tingling. Like there's something about the manufacture of the ship. Like maybe it's something after. There's something that's bugging you about it. And it's
He's
not.
gonna-
Go ahead.
I was gonna be going around measuring walls and shit like that.
Right.
If something doesn't make sense to him, he's gonna go figure out why.
He's just full dad with a tape measure
Uh-huh.
the whole
Morgan?
time. Yeah.
Of the ships that are made in Haven,
There's none. Ships are not made in Haven.
Interesting.
Wow.
okay, you and I need to talk at some point.
You go. The reason is because of the nature of the people who inhabit that space.
Got it.
Right? It is generally, while most people who are in and out of it, the nature of the city is pirate. Right? So which means that not
Not a lot of shipwrights.
there's none, right?
Yeah.
They're either taking them from people who have had ships made in Gansworth, which is the largest one, or maybe there are some. There's like a little outpost of Tinkermerians on the north coast of Seacan, who make the sailing versions of theirs because their airships, the airships of Tinkermere, there's no way they could set down on the sea. They just don't work that way. So there's a couple of them, and then the ships, and then the other major builder close enough to Haven would be the cities of Wudan.
In Wudan, specifically?
Wudan and Gansworth are the two major shipbuilding locations. So you got to think about this is why I think about it this way. Like even the United States, a massive manufacturer of ships, has like 2 shipyards. 2. So that is because shipbuilding is a massive undertaking, and it requires a lot of things that you're just not going to find in Haven.
Got it. That makes total sense.
So if I miss something in your backstory, that's fine. We'll work something out. So again, like I always say, it's like I try, but sometimes I miss things.
So, they don't build ships in Haven, but they do fix ships.
Oh, they can repair a ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
We're
probably got some.
good.
You probably got some very clever carpenters in Haven.
Yeah.
They do have
some sea familiarized carpenters.
There's
Yes.
there is a kind of a small dry dock where they repair ships. It's singular. One.
I was gonna say there are carpenters on ships of war.
And it's run by a guy named Carl.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It sure is.
I'm not
Guaranteed.
renaming it. Great job.
I had named it. It's not something I
There
really
you
had
go.
thought of.
It's
Now
already done.
It's
It's already
fucking
done.
canon now.
Fucking canon.
It's on the internet.
We're on the internet?
We're on the internet.
And if it's on the internet, it must be true.
That's what Abe Lincoln said.
I thought it was John F.
It might have
Lincoln.
been John F. Yeah.
It was
It's
Al.
one of those
Lincoln.
Hitler quotes
Lincoln.
that we attributed to Lincoln after the
Yeah.
fact.
It was
No,
Al
definitely
Gore
not. Definitely
right
not.
when he invented the internet.
Yes, right around the same time.
Okay.
Also, from now on, fucking canon is fuck canon. Because we're millennials.
Are we?
And we do that.
We are. We're Elden.
All of
I
us.
know we are.
Every one of
I
us.
know we are.
Every single one of us.
It still
We're
hurts.
I know.
We're the only two who have a little bit chance of a variation, and I just fucking own it.
How much older are you than me?
We're both 40.
No shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah, Morgan's got me by like a week.
gotcha.
I think I got you by a month.
No, we're both in March.
You both March? Yeah. So,
You don't got me by much.
no.
And
No.
really, the three of us are Zennials.
Yeah.
Which I hate even more.
But it's also a very accurate
Hating
statement.
oneself is on brand.
it's
old
super
millennial?
on brand for people our age.
Only identifies with Gen X because we have a word you're gonna fucking hate.
That's right.
So, the day goes uneventfully. Eventually, Sharan pulls you aside, Sid, to explain it. And she says that it's not that you did anything wrong. It's just that in the nature of seafaring, the man on the wheel has such control over this massive amount of wood and steel and human life that you interfering with them can in any form can put the entire crew in danger. So just make sure that you maintain a space.
I was just taken aback by the reality of the moment in my personal life, and Mackenzie's the closest to my age that's around, and just felt comfortable. Most, I guess, instinctually reached out to him.
It's one of those where it's like it's a gentle reproach.
Yeah.
It's one where she can definitely tell that you understand,
Yeah,
but you don't get why it's important in this particular space.
because it's not my space.
Yeah. She said, I should have not even allowed that. But that is okay. It's understandable. And I don't know if you've ever, if you've heard the anyone from Al Jazeera English, a woman newsreader, you know, that beautiful Arabic accent. That's what she speaks with.
Oh,
It is just it is wonderfully just sing song, and it very much puts. And you can tell the reason she's got her position. She instantly puts you at ease.
Yeah.
Even though she's gently kind of saying, "Hey, you fucked up," she also understands that it's you fucked up it because you didn't know, not because it was intentional, and she just completely puts you at ease. So. But then the day is really uneventful. Eventually, those of you who haven't really spent a lot of time afloat kind of see that if you don't have duties on your ship, it's fucking boring, right? But eventually,
That's why there's just a gentle waft of music coming down from the crow's nest.
eventually.
Do you how long does Sark stay in the crow's nest?
Sark can sit there indefinitely at this point.
Well, does he stay there indefinitely?
Until he gets called down, he doesn't see a reason to come down at the moment.
As Patrice gets bored, he's going
Which
to...
I feel you're the first one.
Probably.
Patrice is the only one who's never spent any time on a ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's
Bart's
gonna
also used to-
Alexander a problem, so.
he's gonna make
Sark's
his
used to waiting
way.
on this.
I make my way up the crow's nest where I hear the music coming from.
You're gonna need to make an acrobatics check.
That's not very good.
Oh my god. Can I roll perception, please?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna leave it on my passive. I'm just staring.
Not great.
Because my passive's decent.
I should have
got
gone with that.
acrobatics.
Figure I'm actively engaged
Plus
in doing something
4.
else. So
That's a 7 on acrobatics. This is a check, not a saving throw.
Not a saving throw.
Okay.
Because it's an acrobatics check.
I heard you the first time, and I just figured I would check. Check. I can-
Fortunately, you don't make it very high. You get about 10 feet.
I got tiny little arms.
But it's not the actual climbing that flounders you.
Okay.
It's the fact that this whole fucking thing is moving. So as it sways, you just can't seem to. You struggle and you don't time a grab, and you fall.
Okay.
And so I believe it's a D6. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall down to the deck.
So good. I definitely feel like I would.
I rolled
miss
an
that.
11. Do I notice this happening? Okay.
16
I'll just
passive.
keep putting
Is
on the
Scald
music.
on deck?
I'm standing with Captain Mackenzie.
Where would
At
you have
least
noticed me
here.
falling?
Yeah, like that's all.
You
I'm
hear a
saying.
thump.
I probably would notice you falling. I would probably subtly keep an eye out to see if you were injured, and if you were not, I would pretend I didn't see it. As a matter of courtesy.
Sark hears the thump and is just like, that's not normal.
You see Patrice just laying on his back, looking up.
Patrice decides to look around while he's still on his back to see anybody else climbing on the rope work and to see if there's anything he has missed in regards to how one is supposed to accomplish what he was trying to accomplish.
Perception, please.
Much better. 15.
You notice that Zaim's moving down from the aft crow's nest.
Crow's desk sounds fun too.
Yeah.
I would love a desk full of crows.
I was thinking instead of a bucket you sit in, there's a tabletop that you sat at.
With crows on it.
There's a bunch of crows around here.
And you watch,
I used to be one of them.
and specifically with the tieflings, you watch as it seems like you notice that his tail, seems to be moving in rhythm with the ship. So you realize that it's less about strength or agility or anything, and it's all about balance.
He's going to try again.
So because of that lowers the DC.
Okay.
I feel like
Well,
Sark's watching at this point.
This time he got an 11. And he's going to put this die over there.
You make it about 15 feet up. And then you slowly realize that you got out of sync. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Saving throw.
To see if you catch yourself.
I am going to use a favored by the gods to roll 2d4 to add to that terrible saving throw roll. Yeah, plus 8.
Where is the plus 8 higher than what you roll on the dice?
Oh yeah. So that's 13 plus. You said dexterity saving throw, which is a plus 2. Says 15. 15.
You're able to reach out and grab the netting.
Haven be praised.
When I see this, because I feel like I don't need to roll perception to see this, I feel like this is happening
Directly in
on the main mast. 20
Like
feet
I'm
in
on
front
like
of me.
eye level.
Yeah, like eye level right now.
So also, you're close to Mackenzie, but Saran is kind of he's kind of cordoned off a space.
Sure, yeah.
Or she's cordoned off a
Yeah,
space around Mackenzie.
So, as I'm walking past Captain Mackenzie, and Saran?
Saran's on his way down.
Gotcha, okay.
Or no,
Ziam.
Sharon is she's
Yeah.
next to him, yeah.
As
Ziam's coming down.
As I walk past the two of them, I say, if you'll excuse me for a moment. And I hands behind my back, walking almost in parade rest, right? With my hands clasped behind my back, not touching a rail, as I just sea legs my way down the stairs.
You're patenting it.
Yeah. I walk over to the net, to the rigging, and I begin to ascend. And on my way up, I grab Patrice's belt from behind, like a parent with a toddler. and I go, all right, Patrice, let's go. And I would like to assist him in climbing up to the crow's nest.
All right, so go ahead and make another
Give him the help action.
I'm like hanging
acrobatics
outside
checks.
right now,
Yeah.
and I realize
And
that you're helping
help
him.
gives
Like,
advantage.
Advantage, yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you would also make a
Sure.
acrobatics check.
I most certainly will.
Sark is now just hanging off.
That's gonna be
the
a
crow's
lot.
nest watching.
20.
Okay.
Because one of those, he hopped out of the crow's nest and saw you moving and was like, well, I'm going to stay up here. No.
19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Pretty sure
with,
it's 19.
With
That was a 14, right? Yeah. 19.
with
I'm not proficient.
yeah
I got a 19.
with look. You're
didn't bother.
you're
I
a
have a plus
sailor,
5.
so your DC
Yeah.
is much lower.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'm not proficient in acrobatics. I have a +5 in it, you know?
You're
At
you're
level 3.
with Scald's help. You're able to
Oh, I will be soon. Don't worry.
to get yourself up to the crow's nest, and it's a little bit of a challenge to get up and into it.
Almost like an athletics, like you're right at the end there.
But the
You have two of us helping you once
Yeah.
you get up there.
it is a bit of a tight squeeze
For the 4 of us?
for the 4 of you in there, but you are all
And
4 of you.
Sark will continue to hang off the outside.
So, as soon as we get up there, and I make sure that Patrice is kind of settled in, I step out onto the spar.
Yeah, so this is
Yeah.
the top here
Yeah.
where the
And I walk out along the spar and I sit on the spar above the sail and just kind of sit there with my feet dangling off in front of the sail, kind of just looking out at the ocean.
So,
So
inside the crow nest is Patrice and SOA.
It's real boring being on a boat with nothing to do, isn't it?
I shout over, "We've been sailing for 2 hours."
This is the 2 longest hours of my life. I
Have you thought about learning an instrument?
yeah, I need a minute though. I just climbing. It's hard. Boat, wind. Okay.
It's
Sark
a
just
ship
leans over
for
and starts
Trace.
patting Patrice's back.
Yeah,
It's way bigger than a boat. It's a ship.
it's a ship. I know this. I know this. It's a ship. So you're playing. I figured maybe that if I asked nicely enough, you might help me to play this ocarina I have.
Sure.
Can
Yeah.
you show me like a scale?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
'Cause I've played other instruments a little bit, so I know a little bit about music, but I don't. This instrument is foreign to me.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just like start picking out like I don't know how freaking ocarina works, right? Is it scales? Is it almost like single notes?
It's all we don't need to really get into
Okay.
the
Yeah.
details.
It's
of it.
not.
And
Curtis
chords.
knows
You
can
nothing
still do a scale
about
on it.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
do chords.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
single notes. It's a
So
flute.
so
It's just a
what
flute.
what we're gonna
Similar to a
are you
recorder if you played
looking
that.
to gain proficiency in the ocarina?
Not particularly. He just wants to play it, just because.
So that's proficiency. Like you to play an instrument, you really kind of need to have a proficiency in it. Like,
okay. Yeah.
So-
So he would like to spend some time and some effort.
So
and
for
some
each
discipline
for
to learn.
each day that you spend with SOA, teaching you the fundamentals of this, you will roll a D1, have a D100 roll, and that will tell you how successful your lesson was for the day.
That's cool.
And how
That's way
upset SOA is.
No, that's gonna be a different.
That's
roll.
going to be a different role for SOA.
So since I'm teaching, could I make like a performance check
Yes.
to affect like
Yes. So
how that works?
I like that.
So what
mechanic
that's
a
going to
lot.
be, that is really good. So what we're going to do
That's
is,
great.
if you succeed and it's going to be kind of like, it's going to start off high,
This is brilliant.
and then the more success you have, the lower the DC each day. If you succeed in the performance check, you are going to give a bonus. I don't know what it is quite yet. I'm thinking that through to Patrice. So you will do that in order. It'll be SOA's performance followed by your D100, and I think we're gonna each day that you pass it, it's gonna increase it. So this first day it'll be a +2.
Sark's just observing.
So that's a 16.
That one actually fails.
44.
Okay. So in that case, that is a success for you, because my thing it constantly moves on D100s. But yeah, so even with it's initially this, as I just recently experienced this trying to teach grammar to a non-English speaker, I failed miserably. It's a struggle first, and you get the sense that SOA just can't seem to initially get the concepts across to you, but eventually it seems to naturally, everything kind of falls in place, and you're able to eventually, after a couple of hours time together, get a few, just that initial like scale, that so yeah,
There we go.
SOA. Thank you so much. That was enjoyable. I appreciate it very much.
I'm glad one of us enjoyed themselves.
fuck. Al, what you got?
I'm gonna switch out one of my infusions
Okay.
because I noticed that the rooms don't make sense and all of that. I'm going to switch out my arcane focus for Wand of Secrets.
Okay. And then offline, you'll just tell me what that does. Don't worry about it right now. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
After
But-
like this third lesson of this, in that fourth shift, when there's only like 4 people on deck, Sark will be sitting in the middle crow's nest, like trying to just finger
Okay.
the scales.
Go ahead and make a D100 for me as well.
I really didn't think I was playing the music teacher, but here we are.
Right. You're in the band as well. So
Dude,
yeah.
comes at you fast.
But with that, we're gonna take a real quick break,
Excellent.
and then we'll be back.
Because I need more booze.
and I need to pee. So we'll be right back then.
Love it.
Welcome back, everyone, to Campaigns and Concoctions. We actually only have one new cocktail right now. Everyone else is drinking either remakes. That's
another Java flow, but this time I
is it?
added the pineapple.
yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
so
this
it is
is-
sort of different.
So it's the
Yeah.
But he described it last time.
Yeah.
This is a rum fashion,
Yes.
and then Jared made what is that called?
So I made this drink at home. It's called Rosemary's Blush. It's 2 ounces Roku gin, ounce and a quarter lime juice, ounce and a quarter simple syrup, ½ ounce violet liqueur. This time it's with creme de violet, 10 to 20 blueberries depending on size, and then like a third-ish Granny Smith apple muddled. So you muddle the blueberries and Granny Smith apple into it. Shake it. And then to garnish, take a whole sprig of rosemary and singe it a little bit with a lighter, and then shove it upside down into a flute.
Yes.
And so the key with what I really like about using the flute with this drink is it shoves the rosemary smell up your nose, and makes it just awesome.
For my bartender friends, this is a delicious drink, and it's about 22 touches.
Anyway,
Roughly 22 touches.
I like it.
And then
It's very tasty.
the nose on it
The
does
nose is
not
amazing.
just, and it
Really
doesn't
good.
necessarily match the
No.
flavor
No.
profile.
But it
really
elevates
helps.
it. It
Yes.
elevates it. Yeah.
It's very leafy and green.
It's
compared to
herbaceous.
the fruity
Yeah.
side of it.
So
Because of the rosemary, right? But then you take that sip.
Dude,
Also,
Well done.
if you don't own Roku Gin,
yeah, please do.
Buy a
Please
bottle.
do. Buy everything that Suntory makes.
they're so
Suntory
good.
Toki whiskey, Suntory makes Roku gin, and Suntory makes Haku vodka. All of them are amazing. And also for another something that I wanted to mention, I did post it up in the Discord, and it is on my personal Twitter and Instagram, is the Hello There, which is a Kenobi themed cocktail made with Kenobi gin. So check out the Discord.
If you wanna drop your personal.
Oh yeah, so I'm the Nomad Barkeep on all the socials. If you don't find me as the Nomad Barkeep, I don't fucking partake in that social media. So yeah,
Cool. Well, as the day has slowly moved its way, the sun is slowly beginning to set behind you to the west. The 3 moons at this point are peeking up. They're not in their full phase yet. Like everyone's kind of in a space. The ring around the planet though is glistening beautifully. I don't know if that's ever been fully described to y'all. We have 3 moons, 2 silver, 1 purple, or 2 silver, 1 purple, and there is a ring around the planet. A ring. It's
Notes from the first session. Yes, we did go over that.
Excellent.
I always want to make sure that I say
Yeah.
that.
Don't forget to ring around the planet and twist it and drop it in.
yeah.
I unintentionally made a cocktail planet. It's three cherries and a.
It fits as fuck though. It fits as fuck. It's absolutely perfect for this table.
Captain Mackenzie has called all of you to the quarterdeck, where he and Saran and Zaim are standing, and you see there's a little bit of hustle and bustle behind them. Hey y'all, I thought here for our first supper time, if you wouldn't mind joining me at my table, and we're gonna have a little special occasion. The crew here is putting a table here on the quarterdeck, and we'll have our meal here under the stars as they come out. Cookie has made his specialty, which is a squid dish, one of our favorites here on the Shirlene. Right?
I love calamari.
This is definitely not calamari.
Is it like Barcelona?
Is it like ceviche?
Like a fucking
squid?
It's
like
a
grill.
It's a
like,
grill. It's actually think more Italian.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
But as someone who actually ate calamari,
It's not like what
2
we did
nights.
at the Olive Garden. Is that what you're saying?
why are you going to the Olive Garden?
I worked at the Olive Garden.
I don't care.
This is a terrible first job, but it was the first job.
It's the downfall of having lived in Italy, right? Like,
Yeah, everything else is not as good.
yeah, there's one right down the road that is just as good. It's called Indici. But
She's pretty good.
the captain gets the table comes up and you are all sat down. There is this is the one thing that Gallo here, one of our local Italian restaurants, to me that does better than anybody is their orange cello. It's like a cream based orange cello, so that's what you get as your aperitif. It is an amazing citrusy, smooth, kind of a thick. It's amazing. And as the night comes on,
John,
Yes.
do you finger guns some bubbles into that orange cello for our mechanical friend?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And bubbles come with finger guns.
Always.
Fires with a snap. Bubbles are finger guns.
Got it.
Yeah.
Somatic components.
Yeah,
Gotta
it's
learn.
somatic components. You gotta know your somatic
Gotta know your
components.
somatic components. Bubbles are finger guns.
but for those of you who have been afloat before, and even those of you who are not sailors, this whole process that the captain has laid out for you and what Cookie is bringing up is spectacular. And Captain Mackenzie kind of looks at y'all and says, just so you know, this is not the norm. This is not how we normally operate, but we do try at the beginning and the end of each voyage for those of us who are in the know, we try to get together and make a special occasion with what we've got. So this will be the first, and hopefully if we successfully survive, we'll do this again on the way back. And at this point, there is like a caprese salad comes out, like cheese and basil and tomatoes and then it's a light like squid dish grilled with like potatoes and vegetables.
Little lemon.
Mm-hmm. For dessert, there's just berries and cream. Like you can tell, like for those of you who are sailors, like this is definitely a not far from shore.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not gonna have this again for a while, so
Yeah.
we're gonna eat this shit. And it's gonna be
This shit don't kill.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Yeah,
eat it
right.
now.
Like maybe the only thing that you're gonna have is the squid, right?
Right.
Because
you can catch that shit.
but there's a matching wine with each course,
White.
white and then red, and then or it's red then white. So you can do red with the caprese, I think. Internet, correct me, please. I just drink red wine with my Italian food. Not that I don't like white wine. I just haven't found the right one yet.
Have you had a Torrontes?
I'm probably
From
not.
Spain?
Probably not.
Toronto.
Write that down, guys. Torrontes.
Toronto.
Toronto's.
It's on the internet.
It is now. Forever.
But the captain, he says, we have 4 more days of sail, y'all. Honestly, we might cut a little bit of time off. We are making excellent time right now. However, we are getting into, and he looks at the two of you, Scald and SOA, to areas that y'all may know are slightly more dangerous. This is where the pirates that are not necessarily associated with Haven sometimes raid those that are. Also, assholes from Gansworth do operate out of here sometimes. So just wanted to keep y'all in the loop that we are going to be asking y'all to join some watches. First and second, during normal times, to not disrupt y'all's sleep cycles. But we are going to put at least 4 of y'all on East Watch, or at least a couple of y'all on the cannons, those little hand cannons. And he points to the 2 that are on the quarterdeck. And you'll just kind of keep an eye, just an additional set of eyes on top of what we've got. Is that savvy for all y'all? I know y'all the boss, but not all of y'all are comfortable at sea, I can tell. And he kind of gently looks at Patrice.
Sark at this point, she kind of goes, I can take third watch.
Now, it's less about, I understand that you may not need it, but keep you with the crew. Y'all as a team, so we're going to keep y'all together. But as we have now spent a day sailing, do y'all have any questions for me and our operating procedures?
Aside from watch, is there anything I can do to help out?
Not really.
Understood.
We do appreciate the hands that you have given. Feel free to continue. Any assistance is great.
Excellent.
But as you can see, we are a pretty solid crew.
Very capable.
I'm sure there's some things that we could probably learn from you. But maybe we can hold off on that until this particular mission's over.
Not looking to teach anybody anything. You seem to be a very capable crew.
My concern is more about if we are successful and then we become y'all's crew. I'm sure things will change.
That's a valid concern, Captain McKenzie.
And that's a discussion that we can have. But it's just something I think that we should have in the forefront of our minds. Because I do hope that we is successful.
As do we all.
And to that, he raises his, at this point, like the cognac has come out.
Oh.
And he raises up the glass.
Excellent.
Calm seas and successful travels.
Skull.
Cheers, clings, and
Nostalgia.
And with that, y'all, Ziam's gonna take over the watch for the evening. He's feeling a little froggy, so he's gonna take a shift and a half. But we have no need for you for the rest of the night, so feel free to sit here as long as you will, and then Nazir and Carrie will take care of everything when y'all are done. And you notice it's not something you've really paid attention to, but there's 2 of the crew sitting at the stairs that go down, and they're having their meal, and they're having looks like maybe a rum with their meal, and it's the same meal that you guys are eating, right? It's not there's no difference.
Good.
So
Shouldn't be different.
is there anything that at this point the officers have left the table? You do notice that subtly missing is Gunner's mate Delilah. But you've also noticed that they don't really... They are part of the crew, but are separate. They seem to have... the gun crew, like, everyone here, almost everyone else here is a merchant sailor. Right? Those, as you learned yesterday, that Gunner's crew is different.
Do I notice this?
You definitely noticed it yesterday. Okay. Right? They're definitely...
But I noticed that they're not here today.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They seem... But you noticed like everything that they needed was really set up downstairs. Right? On that second deck. So
when I finish eating...
Okay.
Are there any leftovers?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Is there a pile of bottles of rum somewhere?
You do have your liquor cabinet in the room that you and SOA are staying in.
All right. So I go back to my room, and actually, as I'm finishing up my meal, I turn to Patrice and I say, Patrice, did you buy some rum by any chance?
Yeah, I did. I went down to Driftwood and I picked up a nice bottle of spiced anejo rum.
How many bottles did you get?
You just bought the one.
I only bought the one.
But you did
bottle.
buy the 3 bottles of wine.
But this is already spoken for. It's spoken for Captain Mackenzie.
Yeah.
And myself.
Leave your bottle in our room. But we're gonna head over there and grab some things. We've got another place to be for a minute. And I take Patrice in tow with me, and I grab 2 bottles of high quality but not top shelf rum. But high quality, right? Such that it will be very clearly understood that I'm providing very good liquor, but I'm not pandering, right? And I grab how many gun crew was there? 3?
There's 3. Yeah.
So I grab 5 glasses.
Okay.
And I head down to the gun crew's quarters.
So as you enter the gun deck, I need both you and Patricia. You're following, I'm assuming.
Correct.
I need y'all to make a perception check real quick.
That's not going to be great. That's a 9.
Okay.
I finally learned
It's
what
in
my
the middle.
perception.
Reroll.
That's
That's
a-
cocked. That is cocked.
That's the first time that's ever happened to me.
That is a cocked dice that is
Ooh.
not touching a wall.
Whoa!
Yeah,
What?
it was straight up vertical line.
Impressive.
It'll fit when you realize what's happening.
Perception?
Yep.
11.
So you don't notice it.
Okay.
Other than it's relatively dark.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 of them are sitting at a table in the middle of the gun deck.
Okay.
That's what both of you see. Patrice. There seems to be a mist that is floating on just above the floor of the gun deck. They are
What does it smell like?
No, same smell. Briny,
Okay.
sea salt.
There's no smoke,
Nope.
like powdery.
No.
Okay.
They're eating the same things that you have. They seem to have a bottle of wine
Okay.
that is being poured between them. It is so deep dark red that it's nearly black in the darkness.
Like
of the dark
garnacha.
light. And as soon as they hear that creak, it seems like as you step off that last step onto the gun deck, you hear a massive creak. And they're speaking in very hushed tones. But they seem to hear the creak, and they turn to you. And Delilah looks at y'all and says, "Oh, hey, is there something I missed? Something I can help you with?"
Yeah, actually, so I was a little concerned because I didn't see you having dinner with everybody else, and what you missed was these 2 bottles of rum, and I need you to help me finish them.
We are definitely about that. Come on, and you watch as 2 stools appear to grow out of the deck.
And I see this happen.
This is blatant.
Did I see anybody do anything to make it happen?
Nope.
No. What's the gunner's name again? Sorry.
Delilah?
Delilah. I look Delilah dead in the eye and I say, nifty trick. And I, like, without skipping a beat, just sit down, plop all 5 glasses in the middle of the table, and pour essentially an entire bottle of rum into 5 glasses.
You watch as all 3 of them, like, and they had a very healthy pour of the wine in there, and they kill it. Like the pros that they are. Like,
Excellent.
good veterans, right?
Patrice gulps like a cartoon character. Audible.
And Delilah looks at you and goes, I honestly wish I could say that this was my trick. But, well, you'll see. And then she takes the,
I do believe I will.
she takes the rum, and in a similar vein, I mean, you guys have seen me toast, like, to those things, you know, it's like, it's a very brazen, it's a, you know, to those who were, to those who was, to the, you know, kind of a that thing. And then the other 2 are right there with you, and they gulp about half that first glass. And then, well, as you're here, I'm assuming that you were concerned, right? It's just that it's not that we're not invited or we don't enjoy others' company. We are just a bit different,
I understand.
you know.
I'm a bit different too.
Us, all 3 of us are veterans of different navies. So the military side of us is a little bit different than the merchants. And we just find a little bit more comfort with each other.
What navies?
Well, these 2 here, and he points to Bader and Azra, they're both veterans of their local state navies in Wudan, the city states. And I was in the navy of the legation of Crypsis.
Excellent. Sorry, I'm putting in some notes for a second real quick here.
It was briefly said, quickly.
Yeah.
Last session.
Oh, I wouldn't have missed it, though.
Well, no.
I missed it then.
Yeah.
Okay. Who was it? I'll write it down.
That was Delilah.
Nation.
Captain
Nation
McKin-
of
we're-
Crypsis.
Was Sid there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sid was there.
Everybody but
And
us.
I was thinking it was the 4 of us. I just couldn't remember.
But it was Captain McKinsey that said it. So.
Azra and Bader were from which navy?
Wudan.
Wudan. That's right.
Well, they were of one of. They didn't say which city state, but they were of 2 different city states of Wudan. So you would know that Wudan is mostly an arid desert, but there are three city states that make up the bulk of the population that are Magiocrates.
Yes. Yes, I remember that.
Are all 3 of them on the coast?
One's an island. Actually, all 3 of them are islands.
I say to Delilah, when I said that I was concerned, that was mostly in jest. Mostly, Captain Mackenzie is wonderful. Your crew is wonderful. But like you said, some of us are cut from a different cloth. And I thoroughly enjoyed the dinner that I had. I thoroughly enjoyed the drinks that I had. And I thoroughly enjoyed the company that I had. But sometimes I need to be around people cut from the same cloth.
Much. It's very much understood, and I got that from you when we had that discussion about armaments.
Mm-hmm.
And
How are you feeling about the armaments you picked up?
so grateful.
I am also grateful that you picked up those armaments.
And you look over. She points over by her desk, and in front of her desk there appears to be a fully formed box of where the cannonball, like those
Yes.
where the rest of that armament went.
Excellent.
And she's like, "Well, as I said, you'll see. There's something in this ship. She is something."
I'm picking up on that. And I think in this moment, as I'm talking with these people, what Patrice is seeing is like a different side of Skjald, right? So like Skjald is generally fairly upbeat, even though he's got this like ominous presence about him, right? But what Patrice is seeing is like, even though Skjald is jovial and amenable to people, and even when he does make threats, his threats are relatively upbeat, right? Like, he's not like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. He's like, that doesn't sound like a good thing you should find out about, right? He's like fairly amicable.
Maybe you should do the thing that I want.
Yeah, he's amicable even when he's very clearly making a threat. And what Patrice is seeing in this moment is a not guard let down, but the fences are a bit lower, right?
I also need you to make an insight check.
Yes.
for me, Skull.
That's not bad. I think that's going to be a 12.
There's something about this space of the gun deck.
Yeah.
You're not sure if it's being with Delilah, Azra, and Bader. You're not sure if it's just the more martial side of the ship.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something else.
Sure.
There's something about this space.
This area. Yeah.
That is it's been the most comfortable space that you've been in so far.
Gotcha. Good to know.
And Delilah, and at this point the sun is fully set. We've passed nautical twilight. It's dark.
Yeah.
The sunlight is out, or the starlight is out. The fullest of the moons is the purple, so it's not super
What's the name
bright.
of that one?
Oh man,
It's all right. That's right. We'll figure it out later. That's all right.
No, I have it. It's just
Yeah.
I've got to look it up.
I know you got it in there somewhere, and I should have looked it up earlier because the moons are actually going to be important to Scal. So
Don Ku is so
Just
strong.
don't make a lot make
No,
moon
no.
cycles, because
No.
moon cycles are fucking weird, right?
yeah,
So
it's not so much like anything power or important related.
I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, I wrote it in. I got stuff for you guys. That's why I wrote it down.
For the other game, yes.
Well, we didn't play this last Thursday.
I know. I saw your drink post.
Well, I was able to write a lot of good stuff for them. They're meeting some weird shit. So
Did Patrice eat the octopus?
Yes.
So as we're like hanging out at a moment where Delilah and
squid.
Bader and
It was
Azra, squid. I'm sorry, squid. As Azra and Bader and Delilah kind of get off in their own conversation, I sort of like lean back and I lean over to Patrice and I say, how's the seafood sitting with you?
Constitution save for me.
I need to pick one of these better die. Well, those two sucked. Very well. This is a save?
Yeah.
It's a 21.
All right.
Fine. There was a little bubble, but you're fine.
And you seem to be doing okay on the water, aside from, not knowing how to climb ropes. But that's a skill. That's not it's not an inborn thing.
As you say that, you watch as Delilah and Bader and Azra kind of swap a look and be like, and Delilah says, "That's what that sound was."
Skeld actually guffaws. He starts laughing,
And
unnecessarily loud.
she gently places her hand on your shoulder and says, "Don't worry, baby. We've all been there."
That that makes me feel better. Thank you, Delilah. I appreciate that.
I was born in a landlocked space. I didn't see the sea till I was 17 years old, and I instantly fell in love, and I've been on it ever since. Some of us were called to it. Some of us are just born to it. Some of us have been born near it. Not all are equal.
I've been on the ocean maybe about 8 hours or so, but I don't know. Like it feels. Is he kind of like he's sitting there swaying?
He's a little bit drunk.
He's had more to drink than he usually drinks.
Yeah.
He's sitting there and he's just kind of. It feels comfortable. Like I like being a part of something bigger than myself. The ocean fits that bill.
Well, I'll tell you, darling. You're very fortunate. Today was an easy day. Seas were not rough.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. It works out sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not much that we do, but baby steps.
A wise friend of mine said something about that the other day to me.
And with that, she holds up her rum and says, "Well, as you can see, we're all pros, but we definitely need to go down for the night. So, to our new friends, calm
New
winds.
friends.
Calm winds,
You did.
calm winds, and gentle seas.
Haven, guide our sails.
Hey, look, I've had about as much to drink tonight as Skelt has. All right.
As the three of you, thank you. So yeah. So Kelt is the purple one. Thank you.
Celts, yes.
Yeah, that is why I pay for World Anvil.
Yep, it's great.
Don't sponsor us because they just got bought out by a company. I'm getting tempted to end my subscription.
I don't blame you. It happens, unfortunately.
I like the people who run it, but like it's
I need the music emoji.
So but the three of them get up and they head back to the it's the fore, it's the bow of the ship where that initial room was, next to the armory, and as the door opens, you can see that it is a single space where there is a twin bed and bunks, and it seems that they all share a space together.
Gotcha.
They seem very tight, don't they, Skeld?
You know, when you spend a lot of time on a boat with very few people, you tend to get pretty close with them. It creates a bond that's different than a lot of things. Not a whole lot of people get to have relationships like folks on the sea together, folks in war together, folks who have gone through things that require every aspect of your being, not just to thrive, but to survive. When those kinds of situations come upon you, and you go through them time and time again with the same core group of people, it creates a thing. And sometimes that thing leads to fucking. And then I pick up the remainder of the last bottle of rum, because I figure there's like maybe a third to a half of a bottle left. I gather up the glasses and I walk towards my quarters. When I get about 20 feet away, I assume Patrice is still sitting there pondering what I said, and I go, "Come on, Patrice."
Okay. Let's... Sounds okay. Just stuttering and flustered and as red as a tanned half drow can be.
That was the most beautiful and perfect ending of a veteran speech I've ever heard.
Well, I mean, I was a gangbanger for a little while. It's similar. It's not the same, but it's similar.
I was gonna say some things, but then I didn't need to.
So is there anything that
afterwards.
anyone else would like to do before you all head down for the evening?
Not down. Not before.
I'm going to
Sorry,
use all
Cobra.
3 charges of my Wand of Secrets.
There are no secret doors that you can find.
Okay.
It doesn't find it, but it doesn't. Does it point? Well, I'm going to give you this. You don't find secret doors, but you get the sense that there are secrets. You know what I'm saying? Everything is open to you as you explore. And what's the range on that? 30 feet?
30 feet.
You probably can get a good half of of 2 decks. You know,
That's not genius.
so
I'm mostly just trying to figure out why
Yeah.
it just doesn't.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sark probably went down immediately after dinner. And just
So
went and
bad,
sat
I love it.
because he's going to
Okay.
get up particularly early.
Yeah. Anyone else got anything?
I'm gonna head towards the, on the deck, head towards the bow of the ship,
Okay.
and gonna pack. From previously, I bought a spicy tobacco when I first went to Edwards. I'm gonna light that, and I'm gonna look down at the figurehead of. Oh my God, Charlene.
Shirley.
Charlene, something tells me you have some secrets. Oh, the stories I could tell you of my war stories and the The things I've seen in my time in the military, I believe someday you'll tell your secrets to me. My dear friend, I have a feeling we're going to spend a lot of time together moving forward. And I'll sit there for a while as I smoke my pipe, and then I'll head down into the quarters.
So the pairings for the rooms are...
I put up curtains in the captain's quarters, and I got a twin bed with like 500 thread count sheets.
Because
and
that center room only had the one bed.
Right.
And you needed... Because I thought that SOA was going to get
I
the
put a
hammock.
hammock up in there.
No, that was me.
Oh, so I put a twin bed in there
It's for
for
Patrice.
Patrice.
Oh, okay, I
So
missed
then
that
that means that I put... I mean, I'm not opposed to you sleeping in there.
I don't
You
care.
know?
We assumed
I'll work with
that Sark and L were together, and that SOA and Sid would be together.
Works for me.
And Skell definitely assumed that he got the captain's quarters. Like,
You threw your pack on the bed.
yeah, like immediately I was like, and that's my bed. Yeah.
Works for me.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that the pairings
Yeah,
knows where they're
I
at.
don't care.
So it's going to
With
go...
us all not knowing each other that well, we went with like a 1920s kind of gendered assignment of bedrooms,
So as you come down...
which
left,
is terrible
Yeah.
and wrong.
left to right, left will be L and Sark. Center will be Patrice and Scald. And then right will be SOA and Sid. So, yeah. Cool.
No, if SOE is like, hey, I like that bed and I want it, Skelt's gonna be like, okay, let's trade rooms. I don't give a shit.
She figured she just figured she was going to sleep in a hammock, not without two beds in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Are any of us
Sark would have
sleeping in
gotten
hammocks?
that at like 4 a.m. the next day.
Okay.
And gone through forms.
Oh yeah,
The final
watches.
For you, though, you're past that point. So
Okay.
it's going to start tomorrow.
Gotcha.
So first watch is at Nautical Twilight.
Okay.
So when you woke up this morning,
Yeah.
and then the second watch begins about 2 o'clock-ish.
Okay.
So that's up to y'all to figure out as you want, but we can do that next. We're gonna finish
Yeah.
that next time because we've got some stuff that we're gonna do and
Absolutely,
then
yeah.
we'll roll. You're gonna sit 4 o'clock, so that's basically Nautical Twilight.
Yeah, he's getting up
So.
slightly before that.
Okay.
Nautical
Whatever,
Twilight or
6
Nautical Dawn?
They're the same. Nautical Twilight is when
Either
the,
one.
when the sun is not visible, but
Gotcha.
there's light
You've
on
got
the horizon.
the false dawn.
Yeah, that's
false
it's,
dawn and false dusk.
It's
yeah.
the technical term
Gotcha.
for that
Good
one
to
is
know.
Nautical
Good to know.
Twilight. Yeah, it's something that has permeated all branches, so it's not
Gotcha.
Twilight.
Yeah, that's good to know.
So
You learn things every day, folks.
No, it's called.
I know what a
Sark
jib
would
and a
time
spar
it so
is.
that he's done with forms about the time Nautical Twilight comes up.
I feel that you have kind of like you're a little bit more precise on it. You can program it, right?
Yeah.
Um,
He's got to be down for 6 hours.
Yep.
Not moving.
Anything for you?
But not asleep.
Not after I use the one
L.
of the secrets.
Okay. SOA,
I'm good.
Sid,
Good.
Patrice.
I think that Skald goes and lays down in bed and lays there for a while and doesn't fall asleep and ends up just kind of walking around the deck of the ship pretty much all night long.
I need you to go to sleep.
He walks around the deck of the ship for like a good hour or two smoking a cigar and then he goes to bed.
There we go.
This is the Dreams DM, John, and take your fucking long rest.
I get it. I'll do a long rest. Can we make a long rest 5 to 6 hours because Skeld is an insomniac like me?
A long rest is 6 hours of sleep and 2 hours of light activity.
Perfect. The light activity is smoking and drinking
Which is
And
what
walking
allows
around the
and walking around the deck of the ship.
that's what allows
Yeah.
you to take a watch when you take your long
absolutely.
rest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So.
That makes sense. That's actually so accurate.
Yeah, it
like
is.
6 hours is almost the maximum I get as a real human. So
Normally I'm not that blunt about it, but this was like I need you to be done.
No, it's
You know?
hey,
It
if
works.
I'm doing the wrong thing, you tell me.
You're right.
Railroads are not a bad thing. I'm
All I
super
have in my
on
head
board with public
is
transit.
Samuel L. Jackson, the "Go the fuck to sleep" book.
Go the fuck
For
to
all
sleep.
parents.
Yeah.
Accurate
Yes.
as
Go the
fuck.
Go the fuck to sleep.
After, so you finish your cigar.
Yeah. I lay down.
You walk into the snores of Patrice.
Yep.
Hard.
And I chuckle. This is nothing I'm not used to.
As you roll in, though, after a little bit of tossing and turning, you eventually find yourself in a deep, deep sleep.
Cool.
Eventually, though,
I'm jealous of Skeld.
as are all of us, you feel the pressure and cold
Familiar.
of the deep. It is the dark of a space that doesn't see light ever. Yet you find no trouble breathing.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds you of the first time you met her. After a few moments of motionless floating, a bluish green light begins to float up from the bottom. There is a dark shape in it. At first, it appears to be a feminine body, but with a head that appears squid-like. You know who it is.
Not unfamiliar.
Sedna is coming to you. And as she eventually gets closer, her true form appears. That humanoid woman shape that's neither homely nor comely.
Mm-hmm.
She's neither beautiful nor ugly. That kind of grayish pale skin of hers. As she looks at you, she says, "The court is tumultuous. Our normal target, that serpent, is just one of many shifting things in the deep. Be aware. Your time is coming."
Skeld looks down at himself in this dream space. And he pats the pouch on his hip. Does he find a cigar there?
He does. Basically, you're
Yeah.
in your normal kit.
He pulls a cigar out in the deep.
Mm-hmm.
And he snaps his
Before
fingers.
you even get it, she twists her hand and it lights for you.
And he looks at it for a moment, looks at her kind of sidelong, eyebrows raised, gives her a little sardonic nod, takes a couple puffs, and he says, "When are things not tumultuous with your folk?"
That's fair. But this is beyond the typical political machinations of my kind. The in-between is rolling. Bloodlust has seeped beyond that space into the deep.
You said it's not the snake. Can you be a little bit less cryptic about what I need to look out for?
It's not that it's not the snake. The serpent he's seen the actions of others. Our natural home is not here. It's the in-between. Roll a history check for me real quick.
That's a nat one.
You do know that the in-between is some sort of preternatural space. It's not hear the material, but that's all.
That's
you know.
about it. Yeah. I don't think Skeld is super.
That's a
into
that's a
that kind of shit.
D10.
Oh, that's a D10.
Fucking
Reroll.
D10. I was like, wait a sec.
Thank you, Jared. Oh, that's way better. History.
Yep,
All right.
it's a
hold on.
13 because you don't have a modifier on it.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
I remember that.
Yep, you're right.
But that's still pretty good. So the in between is the space that separates the material plane.
Fucking Jared just puts a D10 in front of me like, hey, dumbass.
So it's what
You're the one who rolled it.
I know.
You know what's funny is that's a D12.
You're right. It is I have had no greater joy in the last week than this moment right here.
So the in between is a space that separates Librarth from the outer planes,
Okay.
which you know from your very first mission together.
Yeah.
As all those spaces, you know that's where the cities of Shadowfell and the Feywild
Yes.
sit, and that's where many of the supernatural and divine battles happen between the Pantheon. Is in the in between. And she looks at you and says, "He's getting ideas from others. I don't know who. But they center around blood. It's a natural sacrifice. So just keep an eye out."
In your opinion, Deep Queen,
She smirks to that.
what's a natural sacrifice?
Natural sacrifice is one that is made by choice and agreed upon, either self-sacrifice or as a group. Unnatural is one without the consent of that being who is being sacrificed.
It's good to know that you make that distinction. So, I need to look out for the serpent. She's getting up to something. And
Something.
She's getting these ideas from somebody else in the in-between. Is it only her? Because it sounded like you were saying that there were others that I need to watch out for.
The one I'm concerned about is the serpent.
As always.
But, as I said, the court, as well as other places, are tumultuous. Just be aware.
Good to know.
And with that, a bright flash of that kind of greenish blue light that always kind of surrounds your interactions with her.
Yeah.
Flashes brightly enough that you kind of lose focus of everything, and you awake back in your cabin.
And
the space that the bed that you're on,
yeah.
is covered in salt water.
And I raise my right hand to my face, and I hit the cigar that's burning in my hand.
It still is. Yep. And with that, we're gonna wrap up for the evening, and we'll pick it up here in 2 weeks. Woo!
Great.
All right, family.
Great.
Thank you so much, as always, for joining us. You can join our conversation, join the Discord. Find us at Instagram.com/Campaign Concoctions Pod, at Campaign Concoctions Pod if you want to be on the app. You can find us at anchor.fm/Campaign Concoctions.
If you just Google search Campaign and Concoctions, it will come up. It was the first thing from my buddy Mike.
Yeah, so go ahead and Google it.
It is.
Or just tell your friends, like, share, subscribe. Please rate us. Actually, that actually helps. I'm shocked by how much that always helps us. Rate us, even if you don't like us. It helps us.
Yeah.
And honestly,
and let us know if you want us to start doing a
off-weekly thing.
Off-weekly liquor-centric with a bit of D&D conversation in it. I don't want to name the show, but there's other shows that do like post-game kind of like
Interview stuff.
Interviews and downloads.
We're just going to talk about booze.
Ours would be like more booze-centric.
Also,
right? Yeah.
I think that we're going to be having our Twitter pop up here soon, hopefully. It has been a couple of weeks for all of us, so Positive vibes, family. Please send it out everyone's way. Have a happy Memorial Day. I hope you're having delicious hamburgers, good beer, good booze. And with nothing else, family, hope you all have a good rest of your week. Peace.
Peace.